Ladies and gentlemen of the RudeNation, at the sound of the tone, it's time for the RudeBoyz Power Hour Plus, and that's the sound of the tone. One more time, Tommy. Oh no, we are rude, crude, and one of us. Well, actually, we're both tattooed. That's right. You have a tattoo.
We are. Yeah, I know. I got more work.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm Sherm. I'm talking to Tom.
I'm Tom, talking to Sherm.
Hey, there we go. We're the RudeBoyz talking to each other.
Woo! And talking to you, Nation.
And talking to you, Nation, and the Nation is listening to us. We love you, Nation. And thank you for tuning in again to the RudeBoyz Power Hour Plus, episode 85, Trading the Backs, Volume 3.
Yes.
The long-awaited, mostly promised last episode, but what are you going to do? Radio and RK, I don't know what.
Welcome! Yeah, but you know what? This episode's going to be a lot more energetic.
Absolutely.
Than last episode.
Yes, it will be.
Because we're not Rudetober hungover.
That is correct.
I didn't work 9 hours prior.
Absolutely.
So I am...
We actually have stuff to talk about. Great news. RudeBoyz catch-up.
Yeah.
We actually have a topic with the fucking Trading in the Backs Volume 3.
Yeah.
So we got some stuff to talk about, Nation. So why don't we, Tom, keep bullshitting. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Chris, who's in your mouth?
Oh, wow. All right. So we got a little bit of a... What do you call this, Tommy?
The apple pie.
The apple pie, yes. This is a Tommy Cash special. It's a Jack Daniels apple. Is it called apple pie or is it called apple? It's called apple, right?
Jack Daniels apple,
right?
And Jack Daniels fire.
Cinnamon... Well, yeah. Cinnamon flavored whiskey. Yeah. So I got the same.
A little sweet, but it's tasty.
Because you already sipped it.
I didn't.
I saw you.
I put it in my mouth, but then I put it down.
Ooh, so there's no way to know.
Maybe you should believe your friend.
Yeah. Tom, last time this year, you told me that turkeys can't have babies. They're all ladies.
We were also bright-eyed and full of hope.
Yes, we grew 6 years this time. Last year.
Around this time.
That's true, yeah. We were full of hope.
We were. And then fucking life sucked in 2020.
Yeah, but this doesn't suck. This episode doesn't suck. This isn't gonna suck.
No.
And you don't suck, Nation. That's really the big takeaway here. And we are ready to roll right into Blitzkrieg News.
Absolutely. We are going to start off in video games, as we always do.
Yeah, brother.
AEW is making games.
Yeah, so we were talking about this a little bit. AEW is getting into the games business.
Sure.
They had a little funny video with Kenny Omega coming out, and I think Britt Baker and the referee Audrey. I'm not familiar with the brand.
Not Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. And Cody came out. They announced some games. The biggest one, I think, is the return to form of a arcade-style wrestling video game in the same vein, and they name drop WWF No Mercy, done by the director of WWF No Mercy, produced by Ukes, which is kind of the fallout of AKI and THQ. All that stuff. Well, obviously THQ, yes. So, it's exciting. Because it is something that fans were clamoring for, and the WWE Raw vs. SmackDown 2K games weren't scratching that itch, especially the last couple of iterations.
Right.
So hopefully this just kind of shakes it up and, revitalizes or reinvigorates the people making the games. I know WWE don't give a fuck, but, if the games can make people happy, that's all that matters. It's all about the fans, baby.
I wasn't a fan of No Mercy.
Okay, I mean, I liked No Mercy.
And this might sound stupid because it was the same type of graphics. I was more of a fan of WCW NWO Revenge.
Sure, but that's the same. Same.
But I don't know, for some reason, WWF No Mercy, I'm like, eh.
All right,
I don't get it. I don't like it.
But that's what they're talking about.
Okay, No Mercy, so it's in that kind of style.
No Mercy was was like the pinnacle of that. The the WrestleMania 2000, WCW vs. NWO Revenge, World Tour, like you said, or whatever one you said. I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, when I think arcade wrestling games, I think WrestleFest.
You think, yes, very wrestly, as opposed to the more simulation style that they got into.
Which I'm still waiting for that game to drop.
You'll be waiting for a while, my friend.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever coming out.
Let's keep it Blitzkrieg.
I'm convinced. Hitman developer IO Interactive making a 007 game. Hopefully it is in the same vein as GoldenEye, but Chris, you're going to probably ruin my little hope
no, it was just
and
announced.
dreams and say it's probably not.
It was just announced.
Okay, cool.
And I mean, obviously the Hitman developers, they know how to make a spy game because they've been doing that for a decade plus right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Eddie.
We're watching Survivor Series 2003 in the
sorry,
background,
everybody.
just so you know, Nation.
Yes, Tom's still doing his Survivor Series
I'm not
recap.
I'm not
got to
making
get it all in the next 24 hours.
All right, well, guess what? When
recording,
when fiance wakes up, she's gonna be very disappointed because we're watching this stuff all night.
That's fair. She's always disappointed when she wakes up.
Because she has to look at you when she wakes up.
Oh my god, there's just no way you can just let a joke live, isn't it? You just gotta
I gotta hammer it home, baby.
Behind the curtain, RudeNation.
Love you, baby.
So anyway, yes, it's a GoldenEye.
Yeah.
It's a 007 game put out by the guys who did Hitman. It's supposedly going to be like an origin story of James Bond or 007. So
okay,
cool, great. Moving on. That's
well,
what we
hold on.
All right, let's not keep it blitzkrieg.
I'm not gonna know.
This whole episode is full.
So you play? Did you ever play Rogue Agent?
GoldenEye Rogue Agent, a little bit. I remember like renting that.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, that's cool. What was the last good 007 game you played?
Rogue
that
Agent.
one, Rogue Agent? Okay. Yeah. I think Nightfire probably was my favorite.
Didn't we play one on the Wii?
We did play the GoldenEye remake.
Right. And you kept beating me with fucking Mr. Fuji throwing his hat at me.
Odd job, you racist.
Just calls it out with it.
Just call it as a season. But yes, yeah, I was cheap and I used Odd Job. Yeah.
Title.
It might be.
That's the title right there. Don't even send me the titles this week. That's the title right there.
Fine. Moving on, Tom. James Bond, cool, coming back.
Game Awards 1210 announces its
all right. So the
Game
things in parentheses don't say.
Huh?
The things in parentheses don't say. That's just for us.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Game Awards are coming out on December 10th.
Had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. Come on.
I'm
like Ron Burgundy, motherfucker.
Telling this teleprompter, I'm saying it. Game Awards announced their nominees for a bunch of their categories and shit like that, but for their December 10th. So we got some competition for the top 10. Just saying.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, there is no competition. But so their Game of the Year nominations are as follows: Animal Crossing: New Horizons, a game I actually played this year. That came out this year. Not necessarily.
That's good.
Doom Eternal, a game I played this year. That came out this year. That was okay, fine. Ghost of Tsushima.
I still want to play that.
Okay.
I actually do.
I think there's some Black Friday deals coming up.
Dials.
So, yeah. God
Black Friday dials.
Damn it. I didn't think you would have caught that.
Oh, come on. You know I catch every little fucking misstep you make.
You do, believe me.
Because you catch them on me.
Rough. Jesus. The Last of Us Part 2. Which is a divisive game. I know when it came out because plot points were spoiled or whatever.
Still didn't. It didn't even register me to play.
Yeah, no, it was just not a game that I was really into.
Yeah, no, I agree, and we said that on air.
Yeah, I'm good with the story for The Last of Us Part 1, and I don't.
And the DLC.
I actually never played the DLC.
I did.
Okay.
Because I had the complete edition.
Sure. Final Fantasy VII Remake. That is also nominated for Game of the Year.
I'm going to say that's...
Tom's in the middle of that game right now.
It's coming down to that and Animal Crossing.
And then here's your Dark Horse Nation. Hades. Which is a...
I've heard...
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
My brother has played this. He tells me it's like Diablo, but it's... He said it's a cross between Diablo and something else, but he was just like
Dead Cells or something like that?
Yes.
It's a roguelike game. It's got a lot of character, a lot of personality. That's what I hear too.
It's on my wish list.
Yeah, roguelikes for me are kind of hit or miss. I like Rogue Legacy. I like Dead Cells. The art style I'm so down for. Maybe the camera angles I'm not down for. I don't like the isometric look to it. But you know what? If it hits a good sale, I might pick it up.
But you never played You never played like Diablo or anything?
No, but I mean I played X-Men Legends, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, so I know what I'm in for. with shit like that.
Yeah.
Fair
All
right. So there you go. Game Awards, December 10th. We'll see you there, Nation. Get ready for some reveals. What else we got?
We got some comic book news. We got a lot of comic book news.
They're shocked. They're shocked.
Yeah, I know. X-Men Legends is making some new
Speaking of
tales.
X-Men Legends, but not X-Men Legends.
Yeah. Done talking over me? Tales in
Doesn't feel too good.
In old timelines. Am I allowed to talk about these parentheses?
No, those parentheses. So Tommy, so this is some fabled X-Men writers are coming back and talking about previous stories that are all canon.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like they're just going back in time and telling these stories. Mm-hmm. So what kind of writers are on the block?
We are getting the greats like Fabian Nazia.
Okay, sure. Do you want to give a quick rundown if you know who these... I mean, Tommy should know who these people are. But he can't... Whatever.
Yeah, no, Fabian Nazia, I
famous X-Men writer.
Yes.
I know he was pretty much name-dropped the most out of the articles we've read.
Really, because the second name, which I'm going to say for last.
Okay, that's fine.
Louis Simonson, which I'm not too familiar on.
Oh.
Larry Hama.
I've heard that name, yes.
Did a lot, I believe, did a lot of Wolverine.
I believe you're right. He was on the Marvel 616 documentary on Disney Plus right now. They interviewed him.
Check that out. Peter David.
Peter David, yes.
Who,
he wrote a lot of Hulk. I know that.
He wrote a lot of Hulk, a lot of... but he was big on X-Men for a while. He did Uncanny X-Men.
Okay.
And the legend, the man, Chris Claremont.
Right, yes. That is a
name that is really where I started. Was with Chris Claremont, X-Men #1, with the art of Jim Lee, which there is a documentary on Amazon with him. I like Chris Claremont.
Okay.
But the documentary doesn't put him in a very good light.
Really?
A lot of baby bullshit, I feel.
Okay.
Maybe we'll watch it.
I'm curious.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So Chris Claremont obviously did like the first X-Men run, at least.
Right. Well, he did
at that time period.
He's
done a lot of. If I know that name,
yeah,
you did a lot of X-Men.
So when we did Trading the Backs Volume 2,
he wrote Mutant Massacre,
and I believe Demon Bear.
Oh, okay, gotcha. He was like the main X-Men.
Yeah. You were very upset with me because I gave you, as you said, wordy shit.
You gave me a lot of wordy shit. Did he write Fatal Attraction?
No, I don't think he wrote anything. Fatal Attractions. No way to know. No way to know.
Or
you can look at the dust cover.
Book I got here. Writer Scott LaBelle, Peter David, Fabian, and Larry Hama. There you go.
Yeah.
We'll get to that nation in a little bit. That's pretty cool.
Chris Claremont wrote he did Uncanny X-Men for a while, like, because, you had Extinction Agenda and everything in there. And then him and Jim Lee did X-Men. Well, they both did Uncanny X-Men for a while with Extinction Agenda. I think they both worked on the X-Men books when it relaunched up till X-Men 10.
Okay.
Where Longshot showed up.
Okay, cool.
Again. But yeah, no, Chris Claremont, he's a fucking legend in the industry.
Yes.
Like, that's someone I would like to meet. I didn't get to meet Stan Lee.
Okay. So Chris Claremont would be the next thing for you.
Yeah. Chris Claremont is definitely my next guy that I would like to meet in the business.
Okay, cool.
So
what else we got, Tommy? Blitzkrieg News.
You get me started on X-Men stuff.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry, Tom. You'll have time to breathe and talk about X-Men later, okay?
Oh, baby.
The more you talk about X-Men now, the less you'll talk about X-Men later.
That ain't true.
Oh, I'll make sure it's true. What else we got?
Marvel and SiriusXM partner up. Marvel apparently has their own channel on SiriusXM now.
Yeah, it's Marvel. It's Marvel, baby.
One of the things they're doing like one of those podcast stories,
like a dramatization.
Yeah, Avengers in the Wasteland, where it deals with Old Man Logan, Old Woman Black Widow, Old Man Peter Quill, and Old Man Clint Barton.
Right.
Also, Method Man has a show on there.
Okay, cool.
As well, which is pretty cool. And I'm like, damn, do I really want to get serious now?
Right. Didn't you have it for a little bit?
I did.
You had a free trial.
When I got my car, I had it for 6 months.
Okay.
But now I'm like,
Are getting into that.
I know. It's itching. It's itching.
I would say take a minute and kind of just think about it.
I told my brother about it, who I know has it. I'm like, hey, you should listen to it. Give it a listen.
Yeah,
Let me know if it's worth
it. If you got someone in the household who's got the fucking thing.
Well, I got 2 people.
Then done. You got it already. Who
I know.
cares?
Well,
just log into their account.
They gotta give it to me, which they haven't yet.
That is heinous. That is
I haven't
absolutely.
asked.
Oh, all right, fine. What else we got, Tommy?
You better be nice to that household.
What else we got, Tommy?
We have movies. That's it for comics. I'm very glad we had some comic news.
We actually had some comic news.
Yeah.
There you go.
Scorpion King reboot in the works with The Rock's production company.
So, there you go. Everything comes full circle.
I hope he's in it, though.
I don't think he's going to be.
No? Okay, cool.
He might have a cameo, but everything comes full circle. That's really what I can say about that. What else?
Mads
Mikkelsen.
Yes. Mads I Cry from the Eyes Mikkelsen to replace Johnny Depp.
That's a weird place to cry from.
Dude,
fuck?
Every fucking movie he's like something goes on with that guy's eyes in everything.
Okay, it's called acting.
Casino Royale. No, like his characters, I mean.
You didn't cry in Rogue One.
No, I'm not saying crying, like something is always going on with like his character's eyes.
It's called emotion?
No. Like
I'm not understanding what you're talking about.
In Casino Royale, his character would cry blood.
Oh, okay.
He played another character that was blind.
Okay.
It was like, yeah.
Like Death Stranding, I think, had that shit.
Right,
like
exactly. You said he's to replace Depp.
Yeah,
What's he replacing Johnny Depp in?
Fantastic Beasts. That's the rumor going on.
Okay, look, you just say replace Depp.
All right, Tom.
What am I supposed to know?
You clearly nothing because you don't do any research.
Teleprompter.
You don't help me out with this. Teleprompter. Exactly.
Come
so
on,
stop
buddy.
screaming at me.
Well,
why didn't you give me enough information when you don't search the information yourself?
I'm sorry.
The Rude Boys are fracturing right now.
No, we're not. You're dumb. I'm smart.
Well, I'm dumb. He's smart. Okay. So tell me about this, Tom. If you're so smart.
He's replacing Johnny Depp in Fantastic
Damn,
Beasts.
he's good. He's
as
so goddamn
Grindelwald.
Smart. He's so goddamn smart. Well, that is the rumor. I believe he got asked, and that he's just like, I'm just waiting for the phone call. Yeah. Again, in this time period, in this COVID landscape we're in right now, the same thing with the Marvel shit. Yeah. Everything, people aren't making announcements. It's all rumors because people are just fucking sitting at home, hungry, clamoring, trying to suck on that teat for information, and it's dry, baby. And you gotta wait. You gotta wait your turn for this info.
And I do also believe that Johnny Depp is also not going to be in any more of the Pirates movies, which I don't know why. I don't even know why they're still... I don't even know why either. His character was done in the first 3.
But his name was cleared from the bullshit. Well, we don't have to get into that.
I'm just saying, his name was cleared.
Regardless, I'm sure he needs personal time to work on
which is fine.
Whatever's going on personally.
Sure.
Not getting into it.
Moving on. Chris Pratt in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yep.
We're going to see... Let's face facts. We're going to see all of...
Yes.
The Guardians.
Yes.
We're not just seeing...
Rumor is that this is going to be kind of like an Avengers 5-esque movie, where because it's just going to be so much ensemble. Mm-hmm. And I'm down for that. And I think our boy Tequila Wakanda can definitely handle a big time... Here's a whole bunch of personalities. There's a bunch of characters doing that shit. I mean, he had 4 main personalities in Ragnarok with Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, the lady who played Valkyrie... Fuck.
Tessa Thompson,
thank you. And the Rock Monster.
Because she's in Creed.
Sure.
Korg.
And the Rock Monster. Korg, thank you. Who he
is
voiced.
Meek going to be in it?
You know what? I don't know.
Meek was the bug.
We'll have to find out.
Meek was the bug monster.
Was the bug monster also in Avengers Endgame?
Did he show?
Wasn't he in there playing Fortnite with everybody?
In Endgame? Yes, he was.
All right, so then he might get Korg. Might get Meek. I'm sorry.
Which, honestly, why
are we talking about Meek? This is Blitzkrieg News. Keep it going.
Meek's story got really fucked up. He betrayed Hulk. That's all I'm saying. Meek's an asshole. Trailer talk.
Oh, why trailer talk?
Justice League.
Justice League, the Snyder cut.
You see more Darkseid, which is cool.
Sure.
Chris can give 2 fucks. Tom and Jerry. They're coming out with a movie.
Let's stick with Justice League real quick.
Okay, cool. I don't know. You weren't giving me anything. That's why I was moving on. Okay.
Justice League.
Chris, I love your reactions.
Justice League had Shawn Michaels with the Jesus fish shirt. God.
He loves Jeebus.
Justice
So
League, the Snyder Cut. I'm happy DC fans are getting what they thought they wanted with this Zack Snyder recut of this movie that I never saw, but I only assume was just not good to begin with. So it's kind of hard to cut. You know what? Zack Snyder, I don't understand what the big deal is. He did one fine zombie movie, and 300 was cool.
Thank you.
And
what?
It was cool.
Did you read the book 300?
No. I read Watchmen. I liked Watchmen. You didn't like Watchmen, so that's why I'm not going to mention Watchmen. But he did. He did a fine job with Watchmen.
It's free speech. You can mention whoever you want, buddy.
He did Sucker Punch, which was a nonsense movie. It was
just weird.
And people think he's just gonna save the day. He's like the Kevin Feige of the DCU.
So you say this quite a bit. Like, is he like Christopher Nolan? Do people think he's gonna save the movie industry?
No. So Zack Snyder.
Okay.
Zack Snyder's a hack.
Wow.
This trailer features Darkseid, which is great. That's fine. Good job building him up in the same sense as Thanos, which would be the Marvel counterpart, I'd imagine.
And I know there are a lot.
Let's not get into the comic.
I know there are a lot of DC fans out there that say Darkseid could beat Thanos, even without the fucking Infinity Gauntlet. I still say Thanos could win.
We're not going to talk about that. We're talking about the movies.
We will.
We're talking about the movies. They showed Darkseid. That's great.
Without a shirt.
This whole black and white, using Hallelujah, the same song you used in fucking your own movie Watchmen, you hack. The whole black and white shit. Fucking this guy. What's the guy? The villain?
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. He's like all fucking covered in knives. He looks like fucking Michael Bay's Megatron's foreskin. He looks so gross. And because he's edgy, this motherfucker.
Chris is channeling his inner Tom.
I thought about this when you
I'm loving this.
When you put this on the notes, I was like, "Here we go. I gotta knock him down a peg."
No, you didn't have to knock me down at all.
No, Brian's not the pedophile Bryan Singer. I'm talking about Zack Snyder, the hack, Hack Snyder. And then this guy was like, "Oh, I want to make Aquaman's trident edgy. Let me put 5 prongs on it. It's a trident.
Yeah.
That is the word. 3. He's a hack.
The best thing
Get over it! Sorry.
The best thing that could have happened is that Zack Snyder produces this shit, and James Wan could have directed it.
I agree. I think.
Did you watch Aquaman?
No. But I've heard good things.
We will change that.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I mean, once I get the HBO Max thing working,
or
which
you could
is
be
a
like,
problem.
"Yo, Cash, come by."
I don't call you Cash.
Yo, fuck bag. Come by.
That is accurate.
Hey, X-Pac!
Yeah.
Come on over!
Hey, Road Dog.
Okay, Road Dog!
So yeah, Justice League, whatever. I'll probably see it as soon as I get that HBO Max subscription working. What is the next trailer, Tom? Please pick me up from this depression I'm in.
Tom and Jerry.
Oh, God. Here we go. Sip.
With Chloe Moretz.
Hit Girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
I love how angry he is this episode.
I like that they didn't go full gross CGI.
Okay.
And they didn't reinvent the characters. That's it. It's basically the characters from the fucking 60s. I don't fucking know. They look exactly how they look.
Okay.
It's a goofy fucking kids movie in the same vein as
you know
Smurfs,
what?
but not gross CGI. And
it'll probably bank the way Trolls did.
I don't think so.
Who knows? Maybe
we'll have to see how it releases.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about movie releases in a little bit.
Yes, we will.
Please, Tommy, save me from this.
I know you are. Oh, I skipped something.
Oh no.
Black Panther 2 begins production in July of 2021.
Yes, it does.
Sorry.
Which is, don't apologize because you have nothing to apologize for. So it's coming in production during the summer of next year. They've pretty much been adamant that they're not going to CGI Chadwick Boseman.
Good.
Which is good. Hopefully
Sherry
they
in
do
there.
it, and I think Letitia Wright is her name.
Yes.
She's gonna have a more prominent role, which I think is very well done because she was
make
great.
her fucking Black Panther.
I hope they do.
I really do, because that was a great run. She was so fucking. She's so vicious. Like,
Yeah,
I remember like Namor tried to like kind of be like, yeah, I fucked up, and she's just like, oh no, we're going to war.
I think, I mean, for all the Marvel fanboys out there, and I say fanboys specifically, who are like, man, they're making the girls the heroes, man. Like, I think having Letitia Shuri become the new Black Panther it would be more accepting to these boys. That's it. As opposed to like Natalie Portman becoming the new Thor. You know what I mean? Like you know. That's what I think. I am optimistic.
As am I. Moving along.
Yes.
Nothing in TV. Shocking.
Nothing in TV. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Nothing in wrestling.
Nothing in wrestling.
Well.
Telepuck.
Well. Okay. As per recording, the reason we are drinking the apple pie.
The apple pie.
The apple pie
strap match.
Is because it is Survivor Series.
Northern Lights Suplex Rob Van Dam. Sorry.
It is Survivor Series weekend.
Yes, it is.
And it is also Thanksgiving, as per recording.
As per recording. Well, yeah.
So
leading
that's
up to Thanksgiving.
That's why we are drinking the apple pie.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
All right. So we can't drink it ever again.
Until I say so.
All right.
Some sad etc. news.
I mean, it is.
I
have to make light real quick of Scott Steiner having just 69 on his
absolutely
trunks
in the Superman emblem in the middle of it. Or no,
here it goes.
No, he doesn't have the Superman emblem in this.
Scott goddamn Steiner.
Some
sad news.
This is fucking super sad.
This happened, I think, right after we recorded.
I know, and I should have done a
episode.
reacts, but I'm dumb.
No, I didn't. But I understand.
Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek passed.
And I do.
We're a little late to this, but
just
timing wise.
And I know that they said like he filmed up until like December.
Yes.
And I'm like, I love watching Jeopardy. I
Sure.
really do.
Sure, it's an evergreen.
Absolutely,
show.
but it's a little weird. It'll be a little weird to watch. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wait. Because I'm like, it's a little weird for me, a little morbid.
Right, I understand.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they found anything or anyone. But yeah, no, Alex Trebek, we raise our glasses like for educating us.
Yes, rest in power, Alex.
Rest in power, sir. More sad news. Yes. Kirby Morrow, who voiced Cyclops in X-Men Evolution, sadly passed away. That's 2 Cyclops voice actors we lost in 1 year. Man, fuck 2020. But
I mean, he's done other things. He's done the Dragon Ball Z dub.
Sure.
At some point.
I know. I mean, I know more as like Cyclops.
Oh, sure. I understand completely.
But we're gonna be getting into a little bit of sunshine stuff of 2020.
All right. So before we do that, we'll cling to you, Kirby Morrow. Rest in power. Okay. Is there anything else in Blitzkrieg News, Tommy?
No.
Okay.
We go to notable nerdiversaries.
Okay. I don't have anything.
Okay, cool.
All right, great.
Corona-mania!
I'm sure there are. I just
running wild on you.
Running wild, but I mean,
in a good way.
In a bit of a good way. So Corona-mania, when we put this up there, it was shit that got delayed. But maybe now we've got confirmation on stuff because of the delays and because of Corona. Like, we're finally making this thing work, Nation. All right? What do we got, Tommy?
We got Wonder Woman 1984 out 12/25.
Which it was.
In theaters.
Which it was.
And on HBO Max.
There you go.
Dude, I cannot wait for Christmas Day to sit at home on my fat rude boy ass.
In your jammies.
In my jammies. Drinking
Cocoa Puffs.
Drinking some whiskey. Fucking eating some Chinese food.
Okay.
fucking after I've watched goddamn Christmas Story.
Sure, yeah.
800
times on
times.
repeat.
Fucking U-Log. Fucking with Darth Vader breathing, because I know Disney Plus did that last year.
What?
Yeah, they had the U-Log with Darth Vader breathing. Yeah.
Was it him on fucking Endor? Like, that's fucking toasting?
Yeah.
Or him on Mustafar?
Actually, it was. I'm sorry, it wasn't Disney Plus. It was on YouTube.
Oh.
Someone made a U-Log of him on fire, and it was set for 12 hours.
That's pretty funny.
And it was him on Endor.
That's pretty funny. All right. I'll give you that.
Watching Wonder Woman 1984.
Sure.
I'm down for this. I mean, you got the great, Gal Gadot, who just embodies this character.
Sure. One of the best things out of the DCU.
Absolutely, with the exception of James Momoa as Aquaman. And honestly, Batfleck.
Right. Okay.
I'll say Ben Affleck's Batman's chef's kiss.
Okay. I have to get into that.
Henry Cavill, Superman.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Ezra Miller, Tom?
We're talking about Wonder Woman right now. We're not talking about.
Right. Hey, maybe he might show up. I don't know.
Zero. Okay.
All right, but who else? You got Pedro Pascal in it, Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig.
Pedro Pascal, who is Mando. This is the way. Which
this is gonna be a hell of a crossover, man. Fucking the Mandalorian's in this movie.
Fucking we're gonna see some Baby Yoda shit.
Shit, this is like the fucking Ninja Turtles don't do drugs with fucking Garfield and shit in it.
Right? Or fucking 90s. Ninja Turtles meeting the Power Rangers.
Oh my god!
Right?
They should really do something like that again, like on TV. Just saying, for my 35-year-old ass.
I actually never watched that episode.
Really?
What is it, like Power Rangers, like Cosmic Dick?
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yes, Cosmic Dick. But yeah, no, that's I'm talking about that. You remember that old Don't Do Drugs, early 90s VHS, that thing was kicking around all the fucking Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah.
So, a little more good
If only
news.
there was something the nation could come together on.
Don't do drugs.
How about wear a fucking mask?
Oh, yeah. Well,
maybe fucking Finn from Adventure Time shows up wearing a mask, tells kids to wear masks, and then the Fortnite kids come in and do dances and Fortnite masks. Everything's Fortnite now. I'm sorry. What else? What else is going on with Corona Mania?
So Corona Mania, we also got WandaVision confirmed for January 15th. Mm-hmm.
So this marks the first year since 2010 that no MCU property has done anything.
Yeah,
has done a goddamn thing. I mean, that's not Hellstrom, but I guess nobody does. And likewise, Sonic the Hedgehog broke the record of the top grossing movie this year, and it broke Marvel's streak because guess what? There was no Marvel movie.
So let's put it.
So there you go. Three people just pinned Mark Henry. Sorry.
Let's put it this way.
Put anywhere.
Right the fuck now.
Okay.
RudeNation, you are enjoying watching our Mandalorian reacts.
RudeBoyz reacts for The Mandalorian is what he means, but continue.
Starting January 15th, you will see the RudeBoyz reacts to WandaVision.
100%.
You will see our vision for Wanda to happen. I mean...
That was a little weird, but okay. But, alright, it was still on brand. That's fine. Yes, we will.
Tried!
Yes, no, we will not surprise you with RudeBoyz reacts like we have been doing for the Mandalorian. We will, we surprise everybody with our faces.
When I'm asleep.
But
you do the reacts whatever the fuck you want.
We will have WandaVision RudeBoyz reacts.
Yes.
Even for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, for anything we can
Whenever
that won't tie into a proper RudeBoyz PowerHour Plus or anything like that. You will have RudeBoyz Reacts. And that is located on our YouTube.
We have a YouTube?
We do have YouTube. And that is located at bit.ly/RudeBoyz RudeTube. All lowercase. Yeah, Tommy.
And that is all we have for Blitzkrieg.
Alrighty, Tommy, we are done with Blitzkrieg, done with Corona Mania, we're done with all that shit. Let's move right into RudeBoyz Catch-Up. No bells and whistles.
Hellmans.
We are done with RudeTober.
Craft.
We are moving on in to RudeBoyz Catch-Up.
Damn right.
So, do you want to... What have you been up to, Tom? You want to talk about something?
Alright, so I finished listening to The Talisman,
Okay.
written by and you know what? I will take this as my shame. I spelled it The Talisman.
Okay, you don't have to get into it. It's fine.
No, I'm an idiot,
Alright,
so
fine.
I accept it.
Okay.
Written by Stephen King, and wow, someone is bleeding.
Shawn Michaels, of course. Come on now.
Oh my god.
Boy.
And
Sorry.
And Peter Straub. So this was a dual author project.
What's it about? Give me the rundown. I don't know what this is about.
It's about a kid who he goes on an adventure to try to figure out how to save his mother.
Okay.
Who is dying of lung cancer.
Okay. Now, why did you want to read this or listen to this?
It's Stephen King, so
I
was just kind of like, you know what, because Rudetober, it's a fucking lifestyle.
Right. Stephen King.
Exactly.
Will he's knocking on your window when you're sleeping.
Exactly. I'll be listening to Black House, which is part 2 of this.
Okay, cool.
But he can. This child can bounce between our world and another world, which is kind of parallel, but it's more medieval.
Okay.
Than our world is. And when he travels, he travels in that world, he'll travel like 3 or 4 miles in our world. So he has to get from New Hampshire to California.
All right, now I gotta do math. When a train leaves,
exactly.
Point A,
there is a train involved, by the way. There is a train involved.
God.
He comes across like allies and enemies. Very Lord of the Rings-esque. Where, he's trying to find this MacGuffin.
Okay.
That can save...
Classic.
That can save
Classic
the world.
literature.
Exactly.
Sure.
Can save the world and can, save his mother.
Sure.
He's also, in the long run, trying to save his childhood best friend as well.
Okay.
So, from the father who in the... Because...
Okay.
When they go into when he flips into the medieval world, all those people are alternates to the people in our world.
Okay, I got
so
you.
his best friend, his twinner, which is what they call them, is dead in that world.
Okay.
But his father is like this grand poobah evil motherfucker.
Okay, sure.
So. And his mother's like a queen, but he, the kid...
Sounds like a whole lot of symbols.
Yeah, the kid is actually... The main character, his...
Symbolization.
His twinner is dead in that world. It's a lot of... It's very cool. It's very good. Like I said, very Lord of the Rings-esque.
Okay, cool.
Going on a journey. Wow, okay. He's giving me the nose itch like, yo, shut the fuck up. I got something to talk about.
Fucking noses
it's me. We're going to fight.
I'm not going to fight.
Okay.
Never. So did you like it?
Huh?
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it,
cool.
yeah. The guy who read it was a little iffy.
See, that's the thing with audiobooks, man. You gotta, what was wrong with the person?
His voice was very,
monotone?
Yeah, he didn't, really do voice... he did voice, the voices of the characters, but at the same time, I was like... come on, dude, you could do better.
He was just saying it.
Yeah, you're being...
Put a little more oomph in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
For Stephen King, the Talisman, absolutely, man. Come on.
Talisman.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I'm reading the notes.
Why don't you throw something at me?
Well, I don't read books.
Yeah, I know.
Or I don't listen to books either. I play video games. And I finally, Tommy, caught up on Injustice 2, a game you let me borrow pre-Rudetober.
Probably
also pre-Broken Hand.
And pre-pandemic.
No, that's definitely not pre-pandemic, because I played the first one during pandemic. Yes, I did. There's no way to know. We'll just have to find out, listen to the old episodes of RudeBoyz PowerHour Plus.
Dude, I don't listen to
Injustice 2 was... Yeah, that's fair. You don't listen to any. Injustice 2 was a lot better than the first one, storyline-wise.
Except for Supergirl looking like Chucky.
Just story. I don't care about the graphics, because graphics are the same fucking NetherRealm, Mortal Kombat engine,
they could have made they could have made her look better.
Do you have the hots for Supergirl?
No, I'm just saying.
That's what this really kind of sounds like. It's a fucking character. It's fiction. It's not real. I don't care what they look like, as long as the story's good. And the story was fine. I like the story a lot better than Injustice because, again, I think when you put Batman vs. Superman, your normal reaction is to make Superman evil because he has the capability to become evil. Even though Batman had his parents murdered in front of him and all this shit, that instilled a certain amount of justice in him. So that's why he's the whole don't kill. You know, we gotta find a way to outsmart them. Whereas it's easy to make Superman to be like, no, I'm a fucking god. I'll just fucking murder these fools. They're evil. I'll kill them. Like,
not
there
murder,
you go.
lobotomize.
No, he'll throw him into the sun. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Superman for you. But I liked it a lot better because instead of the Injustice 1 Batman vs. Superman or Batman's team or Superman's team, it's now Brainiac's in the mix. And Brainiac is like the big bad. Batman needs help beating Brainiac, so he goes to Superman, the only other Kryptonian at the time that he knows about. They introduce other characters like Black Canary and Supergirl and Firestorm and Blue Beetle, and I think that's well done, especially in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, this whole universe is like, I mean, is DC as big in the quote-unquote multiverse idea as Marvel? I feel like Marvel does it all. Really?
More so.
Wow. I mean, I know of like Red Sun,
Infinite Earths, like.
I feel like when they did their original Crisis on Infinite Earths, that was like, wrap it up, guys.
No,
it's
but
one universe. Like I thought that was.
But they've done them before because then you have DC Forever Evil, where an evil Justice League comes over.
Going. Oh boy.
All right, well that's gonna be for Volume 4.
Oh no.
Yeah. You thought Fatal Attractions was bad? Oh, bitch.
I don't think it was that bad. We'll find out. But
Can't wait
overall,
tear it apart.
Overall, I enjoyed it,
okay.
and it was a well done story. I think. I mean, we did have Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and that Marvel's fucking Avengers game came out. But I think that this was a very good representation and a good story of the DC comic heroes and villains. Obviously, it's DC heroes, characters. I'm sorry. I thought it was very well done, and I feel like Marvel could do something like that. But again, they did it in Ultimate Alliance, and you know they have done it, but not really to this extent.
Spider-Geddon.
I'm saying a video game form.
Because
I was referring to video games in a video game form.
All right. I was
especially a fighting game. Like, I mean, I know the Marvel, the last Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was garbage. But I mean, I think you could do that. You could do a Marvel story, and again, they did it in Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know, that's not that's
saying?
a little. Yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling. It was fine. There you go. It's the Sherman seal of approval. You know what was a good Marvel game, Tom? Marvel's Spider-Man for PlayStation 4.
Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Well, no, let me talk about Spider-Man for PS4.
Oh.
Because I platinumed that game.
Did you?
I did.
I have not.
I was very close to doing so when I played it last time, and I got like halfway into the DLC. But I went back through some districts and stuff like that. That's a really fun game. However, I will still say that I think it's because of my Spider-Man fandom. I want it to be more like the Arkham games because, like, I understand it's a good story. Don't get me wrong. It's a good story. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I would have loved to just seen the Beetle. I would have loved to seen just give me more rogues. You know, you gave me like their quote unquote Sinister Six. Give me more. Like it was a good story from start to finish, but Batman is just like Batman has a good story, but then it's like, oh shit, you gotta fight Deadshot, you gotta fight Hush, you gotta fight this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. Like I would have liked that instead of going for backpacks, go do fucking Kingpin bases, go do this, go do that.
See, I like that.
I like the gameplay. The gameplay was great. I love the gameplay.
I honestly think Spider-Man,
even
though it's only one game in. Or two, technically. I've enjoyed definitely the first game more than the Arkham games. I think more because of the free roam.
Sure. Okay. So
I really, and let's face it, Spider-Man's a better character than Batman.
I agree. I will agree to that. I wanted though what I think Batman did. Batman Arkham City specifically, let's just say. What Batman Arkham City did to the Batman fandom, like the respect, the Easter eggs, the references, there could have been more in Spider-Man PS4.
Okay.
But for them to hold the cards against their chest, I appreciate, because then that makes you hungry for more.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's really much of a spoiler to talk about the end of Spider-Man PS4.
No.
Where they talk about, obviously, Aunt May dies, Miles gets his powers, and
I weep at that still.
And you find that Harry Osborn is alive, and quite possibly that universe is Venom.
Yep.
We'll see about that. But before I move on to the next thing, I finished the City That Never Sleeps DLC.
Okay, yeah.
Did you finish that or no?
Nah, fucking man.
That DLC was kind of lame.
I hate that. Is that that's with Black Cat, right?
Yeah. So the first chapter is really all about Black Cat.
I fucking hate that goddamn subway bullshit.
I don't know. I forget because I finished that last time I played it, and so the first one's kind of about Black Cat, which is a very integral Spider-Man character.
Yes.
That honestly could have popped into the main game at any point, like a Catwoman mission would in Batman Arkham City. But I'm just saying. The second one was about Hammerhead, which, sure, I guess we're just going to have Hammerhead in a thing. And then the third one was kind of more about Silver Sable.
Yeah.
Again, all characters were kind of sort of represented in the main game outside of Black Cat and Hammerhead, but, like, Hammerhead's a fucking goon. Like, let's just be upfront about it.
I honestly liked what I honestly liked what that game did with Tombstone.
I agree. See, I would like that, and like, even like that, those 2 missions with Shocker.
Yeah.
Make that more missions, you know? Yeah. Like, that's what I'm worried about. You didn't need these final... You didn't need to back-end the game with Rhino and Scorpion and Vulture and Dr. Octopus and, oh my god, Mr. Negative, but he was kind of in the whole game to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, they could have spread those out, and maybe you have to capture the Vulture. He's stealing money from a bank, or you gotta fight the Scorpion because he's causing mischief in Hell's Kitchen, you know? And maybe Daredevil shows up for the hell of it. I think that's kind of what I want. It's more of an expectation thing.
They did mention fucking Matt Murdock.
Oh, there was a ton
and Nelson.
Ton of Easter eggs. You're right.
Which there were Easter
I wanted more, damn it. My expectations were too high.
There were so many much more Easter eggs in that than I would say the Arkham games.
Oh, I disagree.
Okay, cool.
We'll agree to disagree. There you go.
That's fine. Though I'm right, you're wrong.
But the DLC, god fucking damn it. But the DLC is fucking fine.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna get back to it, Tom? Should I not
eventually?
Even talk about it?
But I'll probably drink those memories away.
So, towards the end of it,
I like how he promptly goes into it.
At the end of the second chapter, Yuri, who is like your police contact in the whole thing,
did she end up becoming like fucking Mrs. Negative?
No.
Okay.
See, I thought because she kind of like she's got a vendetta against Hammerhead and the Magia. She basically gets Hammerhead, gun to his head, and like she's like this close to pulling the trigger. Spider-Man stops her because he's a superhero, of course. You know, he's got morality. And you see like the gun because again he's got the steel plate in his head or some fucking bullshit.
Adamantium.
You see him get shot. So it's like a matter of like, oh man, she went to kill. And then she's not really in the next chapter. The next chapter is Silver Sable. You're teaming up with her.
Does Spider-Man like lose respect for Yuri?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, he's more worried than anything.
Right.
But, you know, she's off the case. She's taking personal leave or whatever.
Was a Ravencroft.
There's a side quest where you kind of like find out about what she's doing when she's like on leave. And I was like this close to being like, oh, she's gonna be like the Punisher in this universe, and I'd be fucking down for that.
Sure,
because apparently Hammerhead and the Magia had something to do with her family and
her father's death.
Yes. So I was just like, and all I wanted for her was just to say something along the lines of like, I will punish these evildoers, and I'm like, that's the Punisher right there. That's your Punisher.
Yeah.
They didn't do that, and I was like, damn it, because that would have been cool.
Okay.
But whatever. But the DLC was fine. Play it just to get the full story. Yeah. Spider-Man Miles Morales came out on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4, so I played on the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
Very fun game. But I have a lot more pros and cons.
Okay.
Tommy, ask me some questions on this game, because I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to talk about it. I know you want to play this game. Interview me.
How did it play?
It played very well. It was very tight in the sense that your missions are quick. You actually get missions from this, like, quote-unquote app that you get in the game. It's an in-game app that, like, you know, civilians will go to and be like, hey, I'm stuck in My window washing thing is stuck.
Sucks
Help
to be
me out.
you. I got fucking Rhino to fight. Sorry,
right?
baby.
Yes, Rhino's in the game. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know.
But you saw that in the thing. Yeah. But it's very tight, mission wise. It's not a lot of the. It's more compact. It's probably, I would say, at best a third of PlayStation 4's Spider-Man. Spider-Man Remastered for PlayStation 5.
It's what, like 4 hours, right?
No, it's probably maybe like 6 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good amount. Don't get me wrong. It's more than the City That Never Sleeps, the compiled DLC. Because really, fucking Speedball sucks. I just gotta say that. That old character.
Shows up in it?
No, she shows up in the DLC.
Oh, Speedball?
Isn't her name Speedball? Screwball. Nah, she fucking sucks.
Speedball, yeah, Speedball became Prophet. Penance.
Here we go. Got him started.
Don't get me started.
So that's how Miles Morales plays. Very well done.
How do they do his bionic powers?
So the bionic powers are actually pretty cool. You wouldn't... So the way that Spider-Man has his gadgets in PlayStation 4, I feel like that's where the Venom powers come in. After a while, you'll gain... I'm going to call it focus, because that's what they call it in Spider-Man PS4. You gain focus, you gain Venom power, and you can hold the L1 button, and that powers up your punch, which is like a Venom punch, or a Venom jump, or a Venom dash. Like, you unlock those powers as it goes, like you would unlock gadgets in Spider-Man PS4. He also has the camouflage power, which is something that I never really kind of, like, did until, like, maybe halfway in. Because, like, I was going for the trophies, and, like, the medals in the game, because, like, you know, you have to beat people when you're camouflaged, so... and that is like a chargeable meter. That you do it, and you're invisible. And everyone's just like, where the fuck did it go? Like, even in mid-battle, they stop, and they're like, they look for you, but then after a while, they go back to their routine. So that's pretty cool. Other powers, those are really his main Miles Morales powers. Right.
I forget, now does I forget about Miles. Mm-hmm. He has organic? No, he doesn't have...
No, he's got web shooters.
He has web shooters.
Yes, and which was fun.
By Peter.
By Peter, yeah. At least in this universe. The way that... So, I don't know if they refined the swinging on purpose in this game versus the original game, but it's different. And to me, that makes sense because it's not the same character. And to me, it felt a little more sloppy. But I think that was the point, because there are points when...
He's a noob.
Exactly, so yeah. Miles, when he does specifically when he does like a stealth takedown, you see him kind of like stumble a bit because, you know, he's not used to this shit. Yeah, so he's he's pulling a dude up, he's like, oh, fuck, and then he gets him.
Or when he's like web slinging, I'm sure it's a little more sloppy.
Exactly,
than
yes.
Peter.
Well, I'll give you two sides of the same coin with that. The stunt mechanic is way more... is bigger in this game. So you just press, I think you press the square button, and you can press the L stick in any direction, and you do like a flip, or this, or that, whatever. There's a lot more stunts to it. It's a lot more, what am I trying to say? It's a lot more, I don't want to say natural, it's a lot less stiff. I'll put it that way. It's more fluid. He's a human flying through... God damn it. He's a human flying through the city, in between buildings, you know what I mean? So he's like, his arms are flailing and shit. That's why I liked Ultimate Spider-Man versus Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 was really robotic. Ultimate Spider-Man, he was doing flips, like, normally. And he was, like, doing this, like, whoa, my God, I'm flying. Because he was a kid in that game. But, and he's a kid in this game. Also, Miles Morales will... hit the ground and kind of splat a little bit because he's not used to it. He doesn't have the 8 years of experience as that universe's Peter Parker.
How did Peter look?
So,
oh boy,
this is the new face of Peter Parker. The Tom Holland-esque face, I guess, because the PS4 version has the original actor's face, I'll say. And the remastered and Miles Morales has the new face. It really looks different, especially back playing the PS4 version and Miles Morales back-to-back. Really weird. A little bit of disconnect because now it's like I was used to that face and hearing that voice, and then when I hear this voice and I see that face, I'm not getting it. But, I mean, you know what? When Spider-Man 2 eventually comes out, it'll probably be a little weird because they'll have his face.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say that Peter Parker Spider-Man shows up in Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And he's sometimes in the mask, sometimes out of the mask. So when he's in the mask, it's fine because you don't see the face. So
what are costumes like?
Costumes are pretty cool.
Okay.
So you don't unlock, air quotes, the classic Miles Morales suit until story later on.
Mm-hmm.
You're in this almost practice suit, which is like hand-me-down Spider-Man
It's kind of like
pajamas.
in Spider-Man PS4 where, like, yeah, you were in the,
the classic suit, we'll say.
The classic suit, and then you went to the,
The advanced suit.
The advanced
Right.
suit, and then you went into the, like, Doc Ock suit.
Yes and no.
Okay.
You're kind of in like I'm gonna call it Spider-Man pajamas. You're in the Spider-Man pajamas for like maybe a couple hours.
Okay.
Until shit happens, and then Miles designs his own suit, which is the classic suit.
Sure.
But by that time, though, you can unlock other suits just by doing shit around the city. I was using what was called the End suit, which was basically Miles in like the Miles Morales top, camouflage bottoms with boots, and wearing a jacket with a hood up. I thought it was fucking dope. I thought it worked for this universe because when I played Spider-Man PS4, I stuck with the advanced suit because it was like all these other suits are like other universes. Like this is like this weird thing in my head.
Still surprises me that you didn't just play that game through the Scarlet Spider.
Because I know that's not Ben Reilly. Like this is a weird like disconnect I have in my head when I see that suit. I'm
well,
like,
I mean, the suit's lame enough.
The suit is fucking iconic enough to realize I can't play that game if it's not Ben Reilly. Or Peter Parker disguising himself as Ben Reilly. But there's no Ben Reilly in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
So I was running around with that costume, right? There was one point, though, in one side quest where... Because the game, to its respect, is very good at making sure, oh, this is the costume you were wearing? It's the costume in all the cutscenes. You know what I mean?
The Spider-Man PS4 did
PS4 was
that
that.
too. Yeah.
There was one cutscene, though, where I thought it glitched out, and I'll put a pin in that real quick. I thought it glitched out, and it put me in the classic suit. And I'm like, what? It so happened that side quest unlocked another suit, so it needed me in the classic suit.
Gotcha.
If you do play it and you get to that point, you'll understand.
Right. Okay.
So, and I understand, but at that point, it was like I don't want that to happen again, so I stuck in the classic suit.
Gotcha.
But the suits are really good. There's the End suit, like I said. There's a 2099 suit, which is cool. Crimson Cowl. These are all suits with hoods on it, and I just feel like Miles would have a hood on. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's because the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
He kind of the Into the Spider-Verse suit, the animated suit, like they're really good suits. But I love the idea of them, but I feel like I'm a little bit of a suit purist. I love having costumes. I never use them though, because it's like I just stick with what's good.
Yeah, me, I'm like, all right, I've played a few hours,
sure,
like 45 minutes in this suit. Let's fucking flip to another.
I mean, you mentioned about the Scarlet Spider costume. If I know that's unlockable in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I believe. I would wear that constantly because now in my mind I'm like, that's Scarlet Spider. He's fighting Chris Redfield. You know what I mean? Real quick, I mentioned about the technical issues. This is a late generation PlayStation 4 game. Obviously came out on PlayStation 5 as well. There were some hiccups in this game.
Okay.
I don't want to stress that enough. I know there's videos out there where people like the model for Miles Morales ends up just like being like a newspaper stand is swinging through the thing, or a piece of fencing is now swinging through the city. Like it's some weird shit. Whatever. I personally had issues. Miles's voice dropped out a lot. So there were conversations that people were having with Miles that you didn't hear, except people were talking to him like, that's right, Spider-Man, I did this, da-da-da-da.
Huh.
It was weird. All it took was a reset, and then we got back to it.
Right.
I think one hard crash I had.
Okay.
Again, it's a late generation game. What are you going to do? I'm sure people who are going to play it are going to play it on PlayStation 5.
Sure.
However, it is... I mean, I played the fucking game on PlayStation 4, so it's completely plausible, and I know Tommy's going to play it on PlayStation 4.
Was Jameson in it?
Jameson had a podcast.
Okay, good.
There were more podcasts. They also had this character or this podcast, Danica Cast. I'm assuming is another Miles Morales side character. I'm not familiar really with Miles Morales' spin on the Spider-Man lore, but there was another podcast that went in and they kind of went back and forth a little bit. So yes. Any other questions, Tommy?
No, that's it.
Okay. Overall, I really like Miles Morales Spider-Man. I feel like it, as a Spider-Man fan, I wish it did more, but I also know that this isn't like Spider-Man 2, you know? But this is definitely a step up from the DLC. I would say shoulder to shoulder with Spider-Man PS4, with the caveat that it's Spider-Man versus Miles Morales. Like, you know, it is a perfectly good story. It's great. It's not gonna knock the door open. It's gonna open it. It's gonna open it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, that was really good."
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's good. It's not gonna knock your socks off like Spider-Man 2 will, but.
Okay.
And that's all I gotta say about that. And I spoke a lot about goddamn.
Yeah. No.
Spider-Man
What else have you been playing?
I replayed Portal, one of my favorite games. It's really good. The first one. You didn't like, what are you talking about? Portal 2? We did RudeBoyz Game Club.
One we did?
Yeah, we did Portal 2. We did the co-op Portal 2. Okay. I haven't played that game actually since...
we played?
Since we played, yeah. That was actually the first time I played through Portal all the way through. And that is just a very tight, good puzzle game.
Right.
That was probably, like, generation defining.
Okay.
At that point. I also played Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Chris, how is this?
Because I have Game Pass and that unlocked EA Play, and I was able to play it for free. I know I played a little bit of it maybe like a year ago on PlayStation 4, and I was really not feeling it, but I was like, this game is free now, technically, so I'm going to play it. So, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the campaign, specifically, takes place after Return of the Jedi. Oh, man. A quick rundown of the story. Your character, Eden Versio, is a Empire Commando. She's part of the Inferno Squad. She's a really good soldier. And the Empire, the Death Star blows up. Second one. And now you're like, oh shit, what do I do? Let me hang with my dad, who's a Empire admiral or whatever the fuck. And then they want to do something bad. And you know that meme where it's that dude dressed up in Nazi garb, and he's like, "Are we the baddies?" No. You don't know that one? No. It's one where it's like, oh shit, maybe we're the bad guys. That's what she gets. She's like, oh shit, maybe we're doing bad stuff. So then she basically defects to the rebellion. They do a bunch of missions, and then that's it. You know what I mean? That story is really as exciting as I made it.
Come shot credits.
It kind of, ends with the Battle of Jakku, which I guess is important that nobody ever showed because it was in a book or it was on Battlefront, the first one. I don't know. The campaign sucked. It was technically not good because it crashed and there were issues I had and the AI sucks. There was one point, Tom, where my character, and I was playing in the Resurrection campaign, which is, I guess, is like a final chapter or an epilogue to the whole thing. It takes place, I guess, during The Force Awakens.
Okay.
All right, so everyone's a little older. Everyone was running in fast motion. It was like Benny Hill. You know, like... Nice. So, and I liked that because it was like, what am I going to just be walking around and chatting to myself? Like, no, I'm zipping to this point, shooting this guy, zipping to that point. It was exciting.
Okay.
And then the game crashed. And then I restarted the game. And then everyone was running around, or at least I was, in like moon gravity. Like, it was just like I would walk downstairs, and instead of walking downstairs, I would just kind of float diagonally off the stairs. It was goddamn awful.
That's what happens when you stream video games.
Well, I mean, this wasn't a stream. This was a download, but and again, this is obviously my opinion. But it was just no good. But the story fucking sucked. It was stupid. Really, all the campaign was there to do was to prep people to play the multiplayer, and I'm never going to play the multiplayer.
Okay.
However, I will tip my hat to the multiplayer because at least they give you a lot of options. And I did see that, like, you know, you can have, you can have, like, Farm Boy Luke or Jedi Master Luke or Princess Leia or General Leia Solo Han Solo versus Empire Strikes Back Han Solo.
Yeah,
you can do shit like that,
yeah,
and I do cool like
thing.
that. Yeah,
I think my brother has it on the PS4.
I respect it. Don't get me wrong. They definitely did that, but the multiplayer was the focus of this game. The single player was not, and the single player was just not great.
Right.
And I feel like that's all I played.
Okay, cool.
That's all I played, Tommy. Please,
cool.
What else have you been up to?
So,
what have you been playing? You been playing anything?
Yeah, I played Trials of Mana demo.
Okay, cool.
You know, I believe it's in the same universe as Secret of Mana. Same.
No. It's the same series.
The same series where you get to
You play this on the Switch?
Yeah, on the Switch. Where you get to, eventually you'll get to play,
Zipping out the Switch, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Excuse me while I whip this thing out.
I still don't think that's a line.
Shit. Where you get to play,
Do you not charge your Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind.
Shut up.
Vince McMahon's already bloodied. Sorry.
Yes, he is.
He just started a match with The Undertaker.
Same universe as Secret of Mana, where you get to play, eventually 2-player RPG style. It's pretty cool so far.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it.
Alright, cool. Good, I'm glad.
I'll probably pick it up fully.
Now, are you gonna pick up the Trials of Mana specifically, or I know there's a collection of Mana, which is the Super Nintendo version of Secret of Mana. It's 3 games.
Right.
I think it's Final Fantasy Adventure, which
right.
is the first game in that series.
Right.
In America, they were like, oh, nobody gives a shit about
right.
Mana. People give a shit about Final Fantasy. We're going to call it Final Fantasy. So it's Final Fantasy in name only, Secret of Mana, Super Nintendo version, and Trials of Mana, which was a Super Nintendo game that never came over here, but they remade.
If it's the graphics that are in
it is not the same graphics.
Yeah,
it is the same Super Nintendo graphics.
I love these graphics.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know if I will.
I know you're a big Secret of Mana fan.
I am.
And that is Secret of Mana. Okay.
Yes. I also playing... man, I can't pronounce this.
Wallachia?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I did see that. That's like a Castlevania style game.
Yeah, it was cheap. It was on sale.
Was it good? I was checking it out.
It's Castlevania style. It's a bit of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
I'm enjoying it, though. I really am. I'm going to stick with it. And I was also playing Wolverblade.
Okay.
Which is like a Streets of Rage, but with... Vikings.
Okay.
So, yeah, something I think, you and I could have fun with. Because it is a 2-player side-scroller.
Okay.
And for my birthday, I got a Mario Kart Deluxe 8. So, was playing that for a bit.
Yahoo!
Think about it, because I've just been so busy, wanting to unlock shit in that. I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, I should have hit you up, and we could have just played, Wi-Fi when I was on vacation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me know.
Could have gotten the rest of the
I ain't doing shit.
Fuck boys to play. Because I'm sure we all had that for our
yeah,
Switches.
Mario Kart 8. I mean, I think everybody on this goddamn earth has Mario Kart 8.
I just got it because I was like, I want it, but
you did have it for Wii U though. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. And so you did own a copy of Mario Kart 8.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I mean that's really what I've been playing. Trials of Mana. I'm gonna stick with.
You're definitely looking into it, because I know you did ask me about Secret of Mana, and I have the PS4.
Yeah. We might
remake.
Might do a little bit of a stream.
Right? Yeah, you can check. You could do a stream. We could do a stream. You might check the archives out on our YouTube.
We have a YouTube?
We do, yes. bit.ly/RudeBoyz YouTube. Don't talk over me when I'm giving out the URL. Those letters are all lowercase.
I will zip over you, though.
Zip.
Zip. Suck my dick.
So that's it for games that we've been up to. We're catching up with games.
Yeah.
I've
been,
you've been watching some guys.
I've been watching some stuff.
Okay.
On Netflix, I watched Queen's Gambit.
Okay,
and that it's about this girl who... my God, I can never
People are talking
about
this. This is trending worldwide.
Yeah. Jesus, Vince. The girl who plays Magic in the New Mutants movie, Anna Taylor
Johnson?
Think so. She plays a chess master.
Okay.
Is
that what this is about?
Yeah, it's about chess.
Oh, all right.
What did you think it was about?
I thought it was about a queen.
No.
All right.
Queen's Gambit is a move you can do in chess.
All right, cool.
It's good though. She's like the only name that I know in that.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
We were close.
We were close. We had the right initials.
Right, exactly. Definitely check it out. Magic playing chess.
Her name is Anna Taylor-Joy.
Magic from New Mutants.
Ileana Rasputin.
She was
Who
also.
we'll talk about.
She was also in The Vitch.
Zavitch. Yes, you're right.
But yeah, I mean, and then I just decided to finally break open my copy of Parks and Rec complete series.
But now you've seen Parks and Rec.
I have,
Okay,
but
so
you
it's a
know, you
rewatch.
also have something on your list that you've seen.
Sure, yeah.
I don't
So
wanna hear
what's
shit.
what's that about your rewatch?
Just, I fucking love this show.
Parks and Rec is good.
You know, and I
Parks and
do.
Rec is great.
You know, definitely. You know, you pick up on like jokes that you didn't pick up the first time, and like you realize that like there are some Jesus. You realize there are some
when Vince goes, he goes hard.
Yeah, there are some like characters you're just like, wow, okay, yeah, that character's, or there are characters where you're just like Brent Danowitz.
Mark Brandanowitz.
That series
sucks dick.
Parks and Rec gets so much better at season 3.
I feel like everybody says that.
Well, end of season 2, beginning of season 3.
Right.
Because that's when Chris and Ben show up at the end of season 2.
Yes, I believe you're right. Well, I mean, you're just rewatching it.
Well,
so
yeah, I mean, Brent Danowitz leaves.
Mark Brandanowitz, yeah.
Yeah, he sucks. But you know what? At the same time, you also kind of need that like straight person.
Yeah.
In this like quirky group, but he is. But I feel like Ron is that straight
he's a character,
person?
but he's still like these people are wackos.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that's why I think watching The Office versus watching Parks and Rec. The Office is people are nutty, but they're in the real world where people are normal. In Parks and Rec, everybody's a little wacky.
Absolutely.
Even the citizens, everybody's a fucking character, and I love it.
And I love how the constant joke in every season, like 3 or 4 episodes, is Jesus. Is fucking, Leslie running into Councilman Hauserman in some embarrassing way.
Like, she's getting a piggyback
ride, follows Ron into the men's room. Right. I did not see your penis. So.
It's a great cast.
It really is, and
it's well done.
I remember listening to Nick Offerman's book, Paddle Your Own Canoe. He said that was like one of the best times he ever had working.
I hope so. Yeah, that seemed like a fucking hoot.
Oh my god, yeah, and honestly, April and Andy's relationship. That's what everyone should strive for. It's such a fantastic relationship because they're both just so insane. Or Ben and Leslie as well.
Sure.
Secrets and such. But I will always rewatch the series
Parks and Rec is
whenever
great,
I can.
And I'm thankfully you have it on DVD.
Absolutely,
it's not on normal streaming. It's on Peacock.
Exactly. No, it's I have it so I can watch it whenever the fuck I want.
Exactly. Yes, and that's the future, my man.
Yeah.
To watch it when you can. We were talking about rewatches real quick.
Yes.
So Bonnie and I were rewatching for us Stranger Things the 3rd season.
Okay.
Because a friend of ours, who we've mentioned, Bree, she never saw Stranger Things the 3rd season.
Okay.
So we watched Stranger Things the 3rd season. The 3rd season is great. I think the 3rd season is it really the first season was awesome because it was new, it was doing something fresh, its universe it built was well done. I famously do not like the 2nd season because I feel like they just went back to the well a little too much. They were just like, oh, Will, but he's this, or the Demogorgon, but it's that. They just kind of tweaked stuff and they didn't improve stuff. Whereas I think season 3, they really kind of leaned into the 80s campy action, sci-fi, horror genres that they were trying to open up in the first 2 seasons. Season 3 is great.
Yeah.
I wish they weren't going to make a season 4. But did you hear about the casting? We didn't mention this on Blitzkrieg.
Robert Englund
is probably one of the biggest names.
Yeah,
he's going to be a serial killer or something. So that's cool. And I like. Don't get me wrong. I
hope his name's like Frederick or something.
Did you say? I think his name is Victor Creel, which to me is like a wink and a nod to some of the X-Men stuff. Also, the D&D club at Hawkins is called the Hellfire Club.
didn't
So
catch
like,
that.
yeah. So they're definitely leaning into their
well, Victor
their comic
Creel would be Victor Von Doom and
Creed. I feel like
you said Creel,
right? But wasn't that like wasn't that what they
Creel
called him
was
by
the
accident?
Absorbing Man. Was
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So then maybe that's what they're doing.
Okay. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
if
I like
this is going to be leaning more towards, like, comic.
Well, I mean, dude, they mentioned the fucking X-Men X-Men issue where the Dark Phoenix showed up in the first episode, which should have been a fucking telltale to everything. Like,
and they made
a girl with telekinetic powers.
Yeah, and they made a T-shirt of, like...
Which I own, that got melted in the wash. Yeah.
Oh, I did
not know. It was that issue where, Phoenix is in
where she's in the middle and...
the X-Men Hellfire Club.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know you had that shirt.
I did, yeah. I did.
Oh, man. R.I.P.
I know.
Not even Rest in Power.
That was a Loot Crate shirt, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, true.
But that was Stranger Things 3. It's still fantastic.
Cool.
And you know what? After watching it, I'm optimistic for Season 4, especially with the casting that they got going on. And I like that they're still building upon the world and just not like, let's just bring back the same characters.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
they're adding to it, which is cool.
But yeah, as we've said on, I can't remember the episode number, these kids are getting ugly.
Oh, our Stranger Things podcast.
They need to fucking,
they need to age them up. They need to give them new fucking haircuts or something.
Yeah,
like,
these kids are not getting...
Yeah, they're not getting any younger.
Any young... I mean, the girl who plays 11, like, she's growing into herself, like, much more than... the others
the boys,
are.
Yeah.
The boys are
boys
just...
grow up weird. We really
do.
We do.
Yep. I mean, we
sure do. Episode 50. These kids are getting ugly. That was our Stranger Things 3 recap. So if you want to hear our thoughts at the time, check that episode out. But that's all I got to say about Stranger Things 3.
Okay.
That was all I watched, played. I did read some stuff, Tommy. I do read... if it's a bunch of pictures and shit.
That's cool. That's
so
cool.
right after Fatal Attractions, during the month of RudeTober, or during the tail end of RudeTober, I finally got my edition of the Absolute Carnage omnibus.
Nice.
Which was a big Venom / Spider-Man / a little bit of Marvel Universe story arc that happened in 2019. Written by Donny Cates, pretty much mostly, and that was his whole baby. And I feel like I want you to read this. I know you want to read it, so I'm not going to spoil a lot of it.
Was it good?
It was good.
You enjoyed it?
I liked it. What I didn't like about it was it does not give you stuff in chronological reading order. What it does is it gives you... So there was a
what I enjoy about what I gave you to read.
Absolutely, yes. What they do is they group them in... what do I say? Issue, a miniseries? I don't know what I call it, because everything had an Absolute Carnage moniker on it.
Right.
So there was Absolute Carnage... 1 through 5. Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales. Absolute Carnage, Lethal Protectors. Absolute Carnage.
Kind of what they did with Empire.
Okay.
From what I've seen, and that's what they're doing with Ten of Swords right now, the new X-Men
X of
story.
Swords, or are you just calling it Ten of Swords?
I've seen people call it Ten of Swords as well. Like it's either X of Swords or Ten of Swords because it's an X. So
right.
Who the
sure.
fuck
Who knows?
Because I think there are 10 people. Like 10 villains and 10 heroes.
Oh, alright.
So I could be fucking wrong, but
still
bugs me that they don't have Nightcrawler as one of the sword wielders for the X-Men side.
I don't have to tell you.
Well, come on.
So the omnibus is not in reading order. Like I said, it kind of groups stuff. So you have your Absolute Carnage issues, then your Venom issues, Spider-Man, and then like your other side issues. Blah 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 blah. So what I did was I looked up the reading order. And I kind of bounced around a little.
You did the machete order?
Yeah, basically I did the machete order of Absolute Carnage. You're right. You're absolutely right. All right. That was weird. But yeah, you're absolutely right of what just happened.
Fucking Triple H with bicycle pants. Sorry.
Was this the Elimination Chamber?
No.
Huh. All right.
Obviously not.
Obviously not. You're right. So... yeah, that's what it was. It was a good story. Don't get me wrong. I think the Absolute Carnage core storyline was great. This was also around the same time they tried to make Weapon Plus a thing, which was like this weird retcon of like, oh, we got symbiote soldiers before Flash Thompson in the 60s. So like that was like the duddiest of duds in that book. Like I literally had to shut the book and like I can't read this. I'm bored. I don't know who these characters are. You know what I mean? And they just brought him in for that. You know what I mean? Even though there's one...
Were they... what? Hold on, I'm sorry. Were they like soldier? Like they were soldiers?
They were soldiers.
Oh, okay. They actually did a whole story.
No, I know they did. And then this is them bringing it in because the premise of Absolute Carnage is that Cletus Cassidy / the Carnage symbiote, however you want to look at it,
like a cult leader.
Well, yes. So it also doesn't have that. Let me talk.
Because I know they show that up in. Oh my god.
I mean, there's a thing called Cult of Carnage.
I think they show a bit of that in Hunted, like
a
bunch of people in like a cave and like being like, "Oh, Carnage is our god."
It's possible they might have alluded to it.
Cassidy's our god.
They might have alluded to it, but Absolute Carnage, this omnibus, gets you right into the mess of things.
So they go full anal.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
No, not only they go full anal, they're already anal.
Oh wow, so they're balls
there.
deep.
I mean, maybe shaft deep.
Fuck. I don't know. It sounds like balls deep.
Is that the same thing for you?
Yeah, dude, I'm all balls.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. So it doesn't have any of that stuff. I know there's like a Web of Venom, a Cult of Carnage, and stuff like that. I would have appreciated that. And that's what I liked about the omnibus you gave me, is that they do give you as much backstory as they can without going crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they give you as much story as possible, whereas Absolute Carnage is just like, Carnage is back.
Have fun. Figure it out.
So his whole deal is that he, Cletus Cassidy, or at least the corpse thereof, has the Grendel symbiote. The Grendel symbiote was this thing from the Planet of the Symbiotes.
I got a Grendel.
That I think, I bet.
It's called my taint.
Okay, X-Pac. That has, I guess showed up with War of the Realms? Because I think they talk about that a little bit.
Could have showed up with when Null first showed up.
Well, Null didn't show up yet. They might have talked about him, but they talk about the symbiote dragon that he fought. And the only other Marvel storyline that happened prior to that was War of the Realms. And because it's a realm, the War of the Realms, there's a dragon.
No, they fucked up because Null showed...
They could have. Can I tell you the goddamn story I read, Tom, or do you want to tell me what I read?
Well, because I'm just telling you.
Tell me what I read.
Now that I'm thinking about it, the whole the whole Carnage cave thing was in the Venom the Venom book where he was fighting Null and he teamed up with Miles Morales and he grew wings and shit. Yeah.
That can't be. Okay. Null. All right. So I mean, I don't want to spoil anything with Absolute Carnage. I will tell you the premise of Absolute Carnage.
Sure.
Cletus Cassidy.
Okay, don't get angry.
I'm not angry. I'm just completely foregone with emotion right now. I'm just trying to tell you what it is without you yelling at me. I'm looking at the levels. The levels are pretty clean, my man. We have plenty more episode to go. And I'm already this frustrated. Cletus Cassidy is trying to get what's called the codexes out of anyone who's worn the symbiote. The symbiote, basically, when it hits you, so when it hits Peter Parker, and then it left Peter Parker, and then it went to Eddie Brock, it left a little bit of itself in Peter Parker.
So, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Tom.
I'm not yelling at you.
No,
so, he's looking for codexes of anyone who wore the Venom symbiote.
Well, by proxy. The Carnage symbiote, Riot, Toxin, Scream, Phage, all the symbiotes, basically.
No, not Shriek.
Basically, Peter Parker, the symbiote that Peter Parker brought to Earth, guess what? Anyone who touched any bit of that, so we're talking about Normie Osborn, which you read, they're in the mix, all right? So he basically has to get all these little bits and pieces of said symbiote together to reawaken Null. The King in Black, who we're going to hear about in this coming up storyline in a month. What?
Yeah, okay. No, I'm not going to get you frustrated.
You can't get me frustrated because I just told you straight up fact, my man.
Okay, fine.
You think you might be mixed up. But anyway, it's a great story. Minus that Weapon Plus thing because that's just fucking garbo. I did read also this small little miniseries, which I hope is a miniseries, and I don't think it continues. It's Spider-Verse. Not the Spider-Verse. It's just called Spider-Verse. And it basically is Miles Morales kind of bouncing between different universes. It's on there.
You mean Spider-Zero?
The subtitle is called Spider-Zero. The main title is called Spider-Verse.
Well, you just put Spider-Zero.
I'll put whatever the fuck I want as long as I'm talking about it right now.
I am confused.
All right, well, I can't help you with your confusion, Tom.
But you're not being specific. So
I just was specific. You don't listen to me.
You should have been
it doesn't work out.
You should have been specific on the notes. You're lucky I'm not reading.
Yeah, you can't read. I can read. Let me tell you what I've read. I read Spider Zero, which is a sub-series of the mini-series called Spider-Verse, and it has Miles Morales, and he's bouncing between universes, the Spider-Man Noir universe, the Penny Parker one, a bunch of other stuff, Japanese Spider-Man. It's basically like the shit you loved from, like, oh, here's the different Spider-Mans. It's the same thing. It's a little mini-series. Right. They basically have to figure out what happened with the Web of Life. The end. That's it. I hope that's it, because it's a cute little tale from start to finish. It doesn't need to be like a Web Warriors or something like that. Yikes. And that's all I got to say about that.
So you've been busy?
I've been busy. We've been busy. We had to catch up on a lot, right?
Yeah.
So is that it for RudeBoyz Catch Up?
That's it. You're going to get a lot of Tom talking.
Trading the Backs. Volume 3. A lot of Tom talking.
Oh, you really are. Like...
So, Tom, what did we decide upon? So you gave me the X-Men Omnibus, Fatal Attractions.
That you got me.
Right, so it's
3 years ago?
Something like that, yeah. But one of your favorite X-Men stories.
One of my all-time
and
favorite.
I love a good old omnibus, because it gives me all the story.
And probably one of the most heartbreaking ones, too. I would say.
Okay. I don't know a lot of X-Men stories, so.
Oh, you will.
Okay. And then I gave you a bunch of little shit, because I don't have a lot of stuff, but you decided upon...
It's Carnage, baby!
Yep.
Carnage!
So you decided upon Carnage USA?
Yes.
Carnage, Minimum Carnage, Superior Carnage,
and Red Goblin.
Which, the go down swinging like
story.
Amazing Spider-Man 800.
Yep.
Before they relaunched it again and again and again.
Well, even though they relaunched like all these series,
right?
They have the legacy number in the corner.
That's why I said 800. It's another relaunch. What are you gonna do?
I actually forgot that they do that because I just saw a recent cover of like a Wolverine comic and it says like Wolverine number 11, but Legacy 300, whatever.
Sure.
So, you know what? I'll go first because, let's face it, you read a lot more than I did. That omnibus is a beast.
Yes.
Because I believe it doesn't just have X-Men books. Does it have Avengers?
There's no Avengers in it. It's really all X.
It's all X, right?
X all the time.
Because after Fatal Attractions, there was an X-Men story called Bloodlines.
Okay, cool. I never read it, so I don't give a shit. So what did you read, Tom? Let's get to it.
We just said what I read.
All right, so book report it. Let's go. What did you read?
So I read...
Do you want the books to...
Yeah, please. Come on, man.
Let's show the class.
Come on, it's like show and fucking tell over here. They should be in the order I read. Yep.
Right,
boom.
Good.
Come on, baby. Come on. I take care of your babies.
Thank you. And I take care of yours.
Except for that one time when you let me borrow Maximum Carnage and it fell apart on me because it.
Oh, did it? Yeah. That was, I think,
because it had that like weird that was, weird paper before they used the photo paper.
Yeah, that was like some proto.
You're talking to two guys who fucking work in the print business.
True. And
one guy
the book
who used
business
it
also. Too, did that.
Like I remember reading Maximum Carnage. I'm like I think I texted you. I was like,
whoops,
I fucked up.
So, speaking of Carnage, what did you read?
Carnage USA.
All right. Well, so I read this a couple episodes ago.
Yes.
And I didn't want to divulge because I was going to give them to you.
Yeah. So, Carnage goes into this, like, small town and he starts taking over. And then, so he takes over a whole town.
Sure.
Midwest, I believe it was.
Yeah, it's like Colorado or some shit.
So they call in, like, these guys, this military unit, after Captain America, Wolverine, and Hawkeye, and Thing.
Sure.
Get symbioted. Right?
Symbioted. Yeah,
symbioted.
Sure. Symbiote. Yes, they did.
He did.
Okay. Yes. So that's why I'm glad you read this.
I he was.
I'm glad you read this because I think there are throwbacks to earlier Carnage stories, but like reading this, does lead into what happens with Absolute Carnage. So
I don't know. These guys, like 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, like they're cool, but I like the
which guys?
The army dudes.
Oh, so the Life Foundation. Symbiotes.
Yeah.
So basically, not Scream. Let me see if I can see it off the top of my head. Riot, Lasher, Phage, and
Demogorgon.
Demogoblin. The
Spider Demon.
the 5 Lethal Protect, the ones that showed up in Lethal Protector, the Venom story, but not Scream, because Scream is the only one that...
I never read Lethal Protector.
Really?
Yeah.
That's one of the early best Venom stories. Maybe next time I'll give that to you. Got a lot of Venom books that next time, buddy.
I like these 4, but I like what the hell's her name?
It's not. They're not like they don't have a symbiote power. They're basically the government or whatever.
It's a symbiote that's broken into 4 ways.
So you didn't read Lethal Protector. So you didn't read Lethal Protector.
Right.
Lethal Protector, basically the Life Foundation, which is a shady government organization.
They were in Venom.
Took the Venom.
Sorry,
that's
Tom
correct.
Hardy.
That's correct.
Turd in the wind.
They took the Venom symbiote and they forcefully made spawns of it. 5 of them. One of those turned out to be Scream. I think Scream is like the most famous out of the 4.
Okay.
She's not there because she's probably something happened, and you'll find out in Absolute Carnage.
Fire.
Yeah. So those 4, they bonded to people.
Military people.
They bonded people at one point, but those symbiotes still kicked around. Hence, this is where they're at.
Yeah.
And they're not suits. This guy's got a sniper rifle, and that's it.
Right. And then you got the one dude who is like... Exactly. Yeah. I like, what's her name? Dr. Nieves.
Okay.
Who's like...
Is that Scorn?
She's like... she's technology and a symbiote together. I'm like, yo, that's dangerous.
So
there.
There is one Carnage story before this that I don't have. I think it's just called
Feud
Carnage.
in the Family or something?
Family Feud, yes.
Yeah, Family Feud. Yeah,
Feud in the Family. Family Feud.
Which, by the way, they just released on the Switch.
Hey. So what Scorn is like a techno-organic spawn of Carnage. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really know that story. I gotta check it out.
I like this character.
Okay.
I don't know if she shows up anymore, but I do like how Captain America is. He's the one like really fighting against. Wolverine Thing and Hawkeye are fighting against, but Captain Cletus Cassidy's getting pissed at Captain America because his will is just so strong. And at this point,
you're skipping a bit. So they got symbioted, which we did talk about.
I did say that. Yes.
And you're right. I'm sorry. Captain America's kind of fighting the thrall of the symbiote.
Cletus Cassidy, apparently he must have lost his legs previous.
Yeah. So prior to that Carnage story I told about, there was a breakout in the raft. From the raft, I guess. Sentry grabbed him, brought him into space, ripped him in half.
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck?
And then in the Carnage Family Feud thing, they gave him robot legs.
Just throw him in the fucking sun. But it doesn't really matter because the Carnage symbiote is in Cletus Cassidy's
That is correct. That is a big thing about Cletus Cassidy, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So
to the point that even his organs can change. Like he's basically man and symbiote at the same time.
I love how Spider-Man comes across like symbiote.
Symbiote.
Yeah. Wolverine goes, wow, thank God Cletus Cassidy can't figure out how to pop your claws.
Yes. Yeah. that is true. Yeah. So Carnage basically like marionette.
Can you imagine what those fucking claws would look like?
Oh.
Holy shit.
Carnage is basically like marionette puppeteering everybody in this town, just based on maybe a tendril on the neck or something like that.
And he's trying to and this one sheriff's family he has, and the sheriff's like, and the wife is like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll go kill my husband if my children can live. All right, so I'm gonna skip because we got a lot to talk about, especially with Fatal Attraction.
Right, but real quick, so Carnage USA.
Doug. I love the art. I believe this is the same guy who did Necrosha, which I told you about.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
The sheriff at the end of this has the right idea. Just put a bullet in his fucking head.
Well, that is the mentality.
And honestly, Spider-Man's just kind of like, no, we can't do that. But then Wolverine's like, no, we should probably put a bullet in his fucking head.
and that's the superhero. That's the hero complex of the superhero. Yeah, it's like
Spider-Man.
Well, Spider-Man, Batman too, for that matter. Like, why didn't he just snap Joker's neck? Because then the Joker will win. Like, no, he wouldn't. He'd fucking be dead. And
Carnage USA. Exactly. I give all the thumbs up.
Okay, great.
I fucking love this book.
Great.
Minimum Carnage. Oof.
Okay, not a fan of Minimum Carnage. What is Minimum Carnage?
Minimum Carnage, Microverse was involved.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it then, too.
And then, the cool thing was Agent Venom and Kane
Right.
were heavily involved in this.
Right.
And I love how they just banter back and forth.
Oh,
Kane
yeah, I
and
agree.
Agent Venom.
How, like, Agent Venom was in Carnage USA, because he was almost like the hero.
Yeah.
Because he came...
He was like the last
came at
resort.
the end.
He
Exactly,
was like, yo.
yes. That's how I think Kane was in this. Because
And honestly,
you'll talk about what Kane does.
Kane did the right thing.
What did Kane do, Tommy?
Kane lobotomized fucking Cletus Cassidy.
Sure, yep. Use his fucking spider stinger, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and fucking just got
Right,
him
because he only
right
has
in
the
the brain.
one that pops out at the bottom of the
Right.
wrist, right? Yeah. Which kind of fucks the world, though, in the long run.
How so?
Well, after...
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Well, okay, so at the end of Minimum Carnage, there's a whole story of Kane.
Yes.
Where he's just kind of like...
Which I thought was a little unnecessary, but I guess it
disagree.
makes sense. Okay, it makes sense for the character.
It shows you, like, yo, this guy's been through some shit.
Oh, sure.
Like, so it shows you that, like, he's just done. He just wants to drink.
Yeah.
He wants to drink his worries away.
Kane has seen some shit, my man.
So he's
do you want to get in the Clone Saga or no?
Huh?
You want to get in the Clone Saga?
We're not getting the Clone Saga.
Okay, so yeah, Kane's seen some shit.
So, he's been cloned from some shit.
Well, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
You calling Peter Parker shit?
I thought Kane was more cloned from Ben Riley.
Kane was the first Peter Parker clone.
Right, you're right.
You are
correct.
process.
You're correct.
Went on the lamb.
Alright, fuck clones.
Became the other.
The only time I want to hear you go off about clones is when we talk about Star Wars.
Okay, fine. Go off on clones.
Alright. I really dug this because it's like, he's just like, he's done. So he's like, I'm just gonna drink. Fuck.
Yeah, no,
fuck everything. Yeah. So I really enjoy that because it shows you a little more of a human side of Kane. I do want to get those graphic novels.
Those Scarlet Spider
Those
ones?
Scarlet Spiders,
right.
not Hobo Scarlet Spider.
Oh my god.
You knew I was going to do it. Come on, brother.
Yeah, I knew you were. So, Minimum Carnage, what do you say?
One thumb up, one thumb down.
Okay, gotcha.
Look
at that Bagley art, though. Mamma mia.
Bagley art's beautiful, dude.
Well, okay, so let me phrase that. It's a variant cover on one of the issues of Minimum Carnage. Minimum Carnage Alpha. Yeah, Bagley art.
I saw a statue. I saw a
fucking screen here.
I saw a statue recently of Bagley art with Spider-Man, and I was like, "Ooh, I know a little boy who would love that." I just don't know if the little boy has room for it.
I do not.
Well,
I don't think that little boy does.
Huh?
I don't think that little boy does.
Little boy will find room.
Oh, maybe at some point.
Unless little boy's fiance is like, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
So what else did you do for me?
I did Superior Carnage as well.
So this is the third in the, or the fourth technically.
Fourth, because we don't have the other one.
We don't have Family Feud, yes, but in this trilogy.
Correct. So first off, with Minimum Carnage, it started off with a breakout.
With Minimum Carnage.
Minimum Carnage started off with a breakout of Cletus Cassidy from the raft.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
And then he got lobotomized.
But then lobotomized at the end of it.
Yeah. So now, Superior Carnage is, you have the Wizard.
Yeah.
And Claw.
Yeah.
Pretty much taking control of the Carnage symbiote.
Right.
Because, yes, it's still in Cletus Cassidy, but there's no brain.
Yeah, the brain is basically
dead.
Mush.
The brain dead.
Yes, the brain dead.
And the Wizard is going through pretty much Alzheimer's at this point.
Something like that, yeah.
Because Black Bolt kind of
fucked his brain up.
Fucked him up. Well, the Wizard's kind of a dirtbag.
Yeah, the Wizard was
it's kind of gets what he deserves.
But yeah.
I mean, and then of course
he gets what he deserves.
Yeah. Then you have Superior Spider-Man involved, which I love. I absolutely, I really wish Peter Parker Spider-Man would have kept that costume. I love that costume.
I'm surprised you don't see that costume in like the PS4 one. I'm surprised they didn't pull the trigger. And put that
maybe in the PS5 one.
It's not. We know this for a fact. But maybe the new one, maybe Spider-Man 2, whenever
that's
drops.
What I mean.
Okay.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Pretty much just all boiled down to that Claw was the one who really beat him.
Kinda, yeah.
Because he was killed and then he was put into the atmosphere.
Right, into the sound verse or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's some weird, like...
The sound force.
Like the speed force for Flash, the sound force.
But, yeah, I mean...
He can hear all things at once.
Man.
Like, okay, Claw.
Like, I'm just looking at... Like, I'm flipping through... I'm re-flipping over... Oh, and then they put, the Carnage symbiote onto... What the hell's that scientist's name?
I don't
Balls?
remember.
He's a cripple.
Yes. That was basically how they controlled Carnage.
Exactly. And he had, like, all these weapons and shit. Yeah. And I love how the Wizard was just like, yo, do me a favor, put a coat on. I'm sick of looking at floppy genitals.
Yes.
So I was just
so this is like an upgraded Carnage, but it's not... It's not the full
I dug the
partnership,
design.
the full tag team of the Carnage symbiote.
Because the Wizard is controlling the symbiote
yes.
and the brain of the other person. But I did dig the design.
Okay.
I pretty much, I forget how much I do enjoy Superior Spider-Man.
Right.
How he's just like, no, I'm better than you.
Right. Because if your big issue with Spider-Man USA was Spider-Man not ending Cletus Cassidy right then and there, Otto Octavius in Spider-Man's body is like, okay, you're a liability. You're done.
And that fucking costume, man.
It's a good costume.
It really is.
That'll be the next big graphic novel series I read. I just picked up the Gauntlet and
fucking luck
Grim
finding
Hunt,
it, dude.
But yeah, I mean, you got me the first volume. Remember my birthday?
Of what?
Superior Spider-Man.
Really?
You did.
I didn't think I could find it.
Well, we went to Grasshopper in Glen Cove. Everybody, shop local.
Wheatley Heights.
Wheatley Heights, fine. Google it.
Yeah, Grasshopper Comics. Chef's kiss. Beautiful.
Great place.
Really well organized.
Absolutely.
Probably one of the best organized places I've ever been to. But
Grasshopper.
Nice.
So, Superior Carnage?
Superior Carnage, very cool. Like, anything with Octavius, like, Spider-Man.
Sure.
I'm down for, like... And I just love how, like, you know, the guy that was, like... and then Cletus Cassidy apparently has his brain functions back.
Right, because the
Carnage symbiote can heal his ass.
Yes. That's what it does. It heals the body it's part of.
Yeah, but it seems like the Carnage symbiote heals it more than the Venom one.
It's possible because it's a more serious relationship.
And because
don't get me wrong, because it's like the Carnage symbiote was like, I really like being with this body. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I like being with this psycho. Because the Wizard's whole thing was like, okay, so the government was able to do this with this Venom one. We could do this with the Carnage one, like separate it, you know, and not
right, like what they did with Flash.
And I'm like, no, like,
yeah, the Carnage symbiote is different.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you've actually read like the Venom comic that Donny Cates did.
No, not yet.
Oof.
No, I know. Yeah, I'm. It's on my to-do list.
But so good. You don't have any.
No. So, I mean, outside of the Absolute Carnage ones that I read.
Yeah, no. Like, yeah, he writes Eddie Brock perfect.
Oh no, I dug what I read. So, and I knew he writes well because he wrote. What else did he write? Donny Cates.
Isn't he doing Spider-Man right now?
He might be doing Spider-Man right now,
or
but he was doing something prior to Venom. Wasn't he doing something prior to Venom? There's no way.
He did Silver Surfer Black.
Oh, okay, yes, and I've heard good things about that too. So, Superior Carnage, Tom. What do you say?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Baby. Yeah, there you go. All right.
So now,
overall, we're looking good.
Yeah.
Carnage.
We get into the meat and potatoes.
So,
of what I read.
Real quick, this really concludes the Cletus Cassidy Carnage books that you read.
In a sense.
Well, I mean, it is Cletus Cassidy. That's a Carnage book.
Yeah.
I'm looking at right now. So what did you think? You were saying that I know when you were reading Carnage USA, you're like, God damn, this guy's fucking vicious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
a little rough.
You need
feel a little rough.
You definitely need that. And I know when back in the day I read Maximum Carnage, I wasn't really feeling that because...
Dude, when he threw... Was it him that threw Demogoblin off... Spider Demon off the fucking...
Doppelganger
yes, off the fucking...
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you just killed one of your allies with no issues. Yeah. So that's how I knew Carnage what he was about.
Sure. And you
But,
know,
like, yeah.
at that time, I didn't feel the what am I trying to say? I didn't feel like the heat. I didn't feel like him going crazy and doing stuff like that. And they don't really mention that. Like, you know, you would feel like, you know, after so often.
Sure.
I'm not a big modern comic book reader, but like you would mean like, hey, remember that time Carnage tried to fucking kill all of New York City? Like, maybe let's mention that a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's also funny the fact that I was trolling around on Dumb Book.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, well, the Venom symbiote, you know, meets the Joker. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we call Carnage.
And they did that in Batman, Spider-Man crossover that I have. With Mark Bagley art.
Yeah, it's called, like, read a fucking book before you post something.
You fucking nerds. Like I did.
So, yeah, the next
Red
one,
Goblin. Which I read a little bit ago.
Red Goblin, man. Oh, man.
So this Norman Osborn has the Carnage symbiote.
Right. He sent some task force to the Rev?
I think so. This is if I remember
to
correctly,
another maximum security.
This is definitely post Dark Avengers, post Hammer, all that shit. This is basically Norman Osborn like, all right, I'm back.
Yeah, at the beginning
I got the Carnage
you have
symbiote.
him and Mockingbird in a relationship.
Peter Parker
and Mockingbird in a relationship. Which the funny thing was, in a separate comic, he actually had to go to Hawkeye next for permission. Because that's Hawkeye's ex-wife.
Sure. Yeah, they all fuck.
They all fuck, he says. And then they break up. And then I definitely enjoyed the whole Loki Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I shot you the picture.
It's been a while since I read
where you saw Moana's hook.
Yes.
In like
the background,
a display. And Marvel does that shit all the time. Like,
dude, the Green Goblin book I read for RudeTober, like, was filled with that shit. Like, it had like some dude was wearing the Batman t-shirt.
Right. Yep.
Earthworm Jim was there. Yeah. Like, it was just like,
and I love
oh my god, 90s. What a killer time.
When Bobby Mockingbird and Aunt May are talking, and Bobby goes like, yeah, me and Peter broke up, and May's just like, what did he do? I'm like, instantly like, really, May? Really? Yeah, but then like, you know,
because I mean, she I don't know. I guess she thinks the best of him and knows that she could.
He's kind of a flake.
Right, but that's true, and he could succeed in any relationship.
But he doesn't. But she doesn't know. She doesn't remember.
But like, no, I know. Yeah, you're right.
She doesn't know. And by the way,
that all happened. Yes.
I love the fact that all these covers were done by Alex Ross. Alex Ross.
Because I feel like it was supposed to be an end of an era.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't read these comics when they came out.
Yeah, it really goes Jim Lee and Alex Ross, like, and like Michael Turner and Joe Mad, like, they're all four of those guys are like fucking and you know what? I'll throw Bagley in there as well. I saw you be like, what about Bagley?
No, I'm trying to think of, like, I mean, if we're talking about strictly, I mean, great artists, yeah, you're right. Like, general, whoever could draw themselves, but like Jim Lee and Alex Ross 100% are the godfathers.
Yeah, and the Kubert brothers, they're very... They're in your book that...
They are... I was never really a Kubert guy. He drew Spider-Man when I got into Spider-Man.
Adam Kubert's great.
Yeah, he drew it when I got into it. I was not a fan. Out of the 4 Spider-Man books when I first started reading, I forget who was drawing Web of Spider-Man at the time, but I liked his art, and I liked Bagley's art, who was drawing Amazing Spider-Man at the time. Sal Buscema, whatever the fuck his name is, in Spectacular Spider-Man, was throw up on paper. And
Chris Bachalo's the worst.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you know the art if I show it to you.
I think Kubert, or actually might have been John Romita Jr., was doing Spider-Man at the time. I did not like his art at the time. I like it in retrospect, you know what I mean? Sure. At the time, I didn't like it.
Romita drew Uncanny, right?
He drew some shit. I think
he drew Uncanny in Fatal Attractions.
You know what? I'll tell you when I go through it in a couple minutes.
And then,
I'll tell you when I go through it in a couple minutes.
Yeah. You know, this also has anti-agent Venom.
Agent Anti-Venom.
Whatever they fucking call
So they basically
him,
made the character Anti-Venom was Eddie Brock, who had a weird
instead of black,
like Mr. Negative touched the symbiote which was in his cells, which I guess was a codex really if you want to say about shit. And turn him into Anti-Venom, and they did the same shit with Flash Thompson to become Agent Anti-Venom.
Jameson is like Spider-Man's man in the chair for a little bit.
Yes.
For a little bit.
Yes.
Flash and like Liz is just kind of goes to Flash, goes like, "Hey, you're gonna be my security because I know your secret and you were a dick in high school. So guess what?" It's like, can you give Flash a break? Like, yeah, fine, I get it. He was a dick.
Flash had 2 breaks right above the knees, I think.
They weren't breaks; they were blown off. Yeah. I don't think they've brought him back yet.
No, I don't think they did either.
Which I'm so shocked because people,
excuse me,
people love him, and
great.
I love Anti-Venom, and that's one of, I mean, not to go too much into the Donny Cates Venom, is that the Venom, when the Venom symbiote went back to Eddie,
it took a lot from
it took
Flash.
a lot for them to have a relationship, because him and Flash had such a relationship together.
Again, when I read Absolute Carnage in the Machete order, it begins chronologically with the first Venom issue that's in the omnibus, which is like Venom 19 or some shit. And it talks about how did Eddie make a good thing evil, or did this evil thing make a good thing bad?
I'm about to go into this.
Right. So, yeah.
With this.
Yes. And it's great how he writes it. I'm just reaffirming that.
You got the Goblin Gang. That's what I call them. Invade Alchemex.
Okay.
Trying to steal this metal that is explosive.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's been a little bit since I read this.
Yeah, and then Carnage.
I know the hot parts.
Yeah, Carnage kills. Carnage Norman kills bodyguards. Bunch of hand jokes.
So the Red Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, it's like they're fighting for control.
Oh, yes. There is that, too. Again, because the Carnage symbiote and Cletus Cassidy go so well together, they're having a hard time synergizing, which ends up to their downfall.
One of the most heartbreaking things in this is that, Peter goes to Mary Jane's apartment to get his stuff back, and, they start trying to, rekindle things.
Sure.
And then when, she goes to unbutton...
Those crazy kids.
She goes to unbutton his shirt and sees the Spider-Man suit. She's like, I can't do this again. Which I'm like, I get it, but, oh, man, come on. I'm like, it sucks. And, she feels fucking horrible because she wants to be with Peter.
Yeah.
But she's like...
They touch upon that a little bit with Absolute Carnage. Or at least in the Spider-Man books.
She's like, but I don't want to be... I don't want to be with Spider-Man. And she's like, I will never ask you to stop being Spider-Man.
And that's what made her so good in a lot of people's eyes. Yeah. Because people think that, if she was supposed... Yes, Tommy specifically. if Peter Parker, in some time frame, was to be with Gwen Stacy, Gwen would have given him an ultimatum.
Which, fun fact, where, didn't really get to touch this, but, apparently in Gwen's reality of Spider-Gwen, Mary Jane gets the Carnage symbiote.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, I saw the article earlier. Corroded?
These fucking batteries are corroded as shit.
Yeah, how about we just throw that away?
No, I'm gonna fix it up. Okay. Which is funny because in the Ultimate Universe, Gwen is the one with the Carnage symbiote. I know. So there you go.
I really enjoy this part where Spider-Man webs up a person snatcher that he's webbed up several times.
Okay.
And just how they have discussions and stuff. How he's just like, hey, Spidey, can you do me a favor? Can you web my shoes up? Because last time you left me up here, a bunch of kids stole my shoes. I remember that. I'm like, I dig that. J. Jonah Jameson got caught by the Red Goblin and ends up spilling the beans.
Right.
Because Norman doesn't remember who Peter is because of Superior?
No, I think it's because of One More Day.
No.
I'm pretty sure
No. Because okay, so in the beginning of this, when they merge,
The Carnage symbiote and Norman.
he goes like this. He's like, "Hey, do me. Oh wow, you can heal me. Do me one more thing. Spider-Man or Parker put nanites into me, so I can't remember who he is."
Oh, so that might have been Osborn.
It expunges
Octavius,
it.
Yeah.
It might. Yeah, because they had a big knockdown.
I think they had a feud. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had a feud. You're right. I again not familiar with that storyline. So
Norman is trying to figure out who's who. Liz Allen and her brother is pretty much running Alchemax now.
Right.
Raxton, who is known as the Molten Man.
Molten Man. There you go.
Harry and his nanny hang out in a park, and Norman's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna stalk
Harry's
these kids."
alive in this?
Harry's alive in this.
Huh.
And so is his mother. His
his
the
mother
nanny.
came back, I think.
Right, but he doesn't recognize her because she left when he was a baby.
Right, yes. That I remember. Okay.
And then he kills Ben Yorick or Phil Yorick.
Probably Phil.
As the Hobgoblin.
Phil, yes.
Oh, Goblin King.
Yes.
Then he tries to blow up. He does blow up the Daily Bugle.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man loses use of one of his legs for a little bit, and Red Goblin's like this. He goes, "Hey, look, you back off. Everyone you know lives. We don't have an issue." So he sends the Web Warriors after him.
Yes.
And then eventually he's like, "Fuck this." And Anti-Venom heals his leg, is also healing everyone else. But
right.
Here's
the anti-Venom power.
Here's the fucked up part is that Venom... Well, J. Jonah Jameson sends Venom to go help Mary Jane.
Right. Which is already fucked up for Mary Jane.
And she sets him on fire and uses on him.
Come on now.
And he's just like, can you do me a favor?
Can you stop?
I'm here to help.
I'm out. Cut it out.
I'm a friend. And then, pretty cool to see. I mean, and then he infects his grandson with the Carnage symbiote.
So this is Norman infecting Normie.
Yeah.
Right, yes. Who is also Peter Parker's godson.
Yeah, how he was just like, "Yeah, you're not taking my godson," and just beats the fuck out of him.
He, like I mentioned before, he shows up in Absolute Carnage.
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Because Peter Parker's protected.
Protective. Yes. So that, I do like the fact that Otto Octavius was watching over Aunt May.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. And I like his look.
It's, isn't Superior Octopus?
Yeah.
Yes, but that's who Otto is in this time frame.
Yeah. And I love his look. The trench coat, he has, like, the Spider-Man, like, costume type on.
You didn't read Spider-Geddon yet.
No, I did not.
Okay,
not yet. No.
But you read Clone Conspiracy.
Yes.
So the consciousness of Otto Octavius,
was
able to get into some beautiful, perfect.
So the after
clone
credits
of Peter Parker.
Thank you.
Yes.
The after credits makes so much more sense because that's the body that he put his consciousness into.
Actually, thinking about it, I think Spider-Geddon, unless I'm getting confused. No, that was Spider-Verse. So Spider-Verse brings back Superior Spider-Man after the fact.
Right.
So Superior Spider-Man was done, but they were like, there's a time frame where he's still alive, so he brings him back.
It's like a split second.
Yes. So, but the consciousness in Otto Octavius in 616 goes into another perfect clone of Peter Parker.
Yep.
He becomes a Superior Octopus. He goes to fucking San Francisco or some shit. Blah, 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 blah. He shows up in Spider-Geddon. That's where I'll...
Yeah, because, they come, him and Marconi come face to face again at the end of this.
Yeah, right. But again, this is like a greatest hits of Spider-Man shit.
I really like this because Eddie's just like, you gotta take the Venom symbiote.
Yep. And again, here we go, another greatest hits.
And I just love how I love how Peter goes to Mary Jane and goes, "You really don't think I can take him by myself?" And she's like, "No, I really don't." And he's kind of like, "Huh, thanks for the vote of confidence.
Yes.
Like, she's like, no, you need all the help you can get right now. I really dig that. I like the fact that...
So he's back in the black suit, trying to take it to the Red Goblin.
Because he ran out of web fluids, but now he has unlimited...
Just like, I need some help.
And I like the fact that Eddie told him, he's just like, yo, don't let your rage poison this. Because
Eddie knows. Eddie's a good guy.
The symbiote is fixed now.
Right.
The fucked up thing is that Carnage kept shooting these spikes out. And those spikes were infecting everyone it hit. And it hit the 5 most important people in Peter's life.
Right.
Miles, Silk, Mary Jane, Aunt May, and... Fuck. Why am I drawing a blank? Chris, help me out here.
I don't recall.
Oh,
Spider-Girl? I don't know.
Clash.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And actually Otto as well.
So, real quick, Tom, pause. What your thoughts on the Spider-Man family? Like, do you feel like it is like when you take the Bat family, you see a lot of symbolism, similarities, right?
Yeah.
Like, because you got Spider-Man, Batman, done. Then maybe like you're the new Ward or the Apprentice, and then you got the female version, and then you got like like you see a lot of symbols. Which works best? To be honest, even as a Spider-Man fan, I think the Bat family works better because it's more organizational as opposed to being like, hey, I also have spider powers. Let's hang out and let's work together.
Yes.
And also I think like Peter Parker's a little more willing to work with teams.
I was going to say, that's why I feel the Spider family works better, because he is more willing to let people in, to show people, to train people. And Batman, yes, he's willing to train orphans.
Sure, because they don't have any family when they die.
Exactly. So he can manipulate them.
Sure. Well, that's a little more, that was more dark than I was going to go. I think the Bat family works better because it's almost like they're striving for Batman to be the new Batman. I don't want to say the new Batman. But to be like, am I good enough, Daddy? Like,
but
you know what I mean?
I believe the Spider family works better because it's just like everyone's just like, all right, we're all good enough. We're all on the same level. Right. Let's work this out.
You're right.
And figure this out.
Peter Parker's way more of a team player than Bruce Wayne. 100%.
So yeah, Spider-Man's back in black.
We'll have to talk about that. That is a interesting topic of conversation.
And then he pretty much just challenges like, hey, get rid of the symbiote. I'll get rid of mine.
Yeah.
Let's
go mano y mano.
Exactly. And he beats the fuck out of it. Like, pretty much makes him brain dead. Due to...
Well, a lot of it due to the Carnage symbiote and also getting beat the pissed out of.
Yeah, exactly. Because I kind of feel this Carnage symbiote is definitely... it's broken. Yeah. But it's definitely more broken because of Cletus' state of mind.
Yeah.
And then you have Jameson who tries to shoot him.
Because he's like,
this needs to end. But then Peter the hero jumps in front of the bullet and takes a bullet for Norman Osborn. Yeah. And then Norman's sent to Ravencroft and he's just like, oh, I'm Spider-Man.
Right. So Norman is fucking
bonkers.
An idiot now.
He's bonkers.
Right.
For now.
Which sure that leads into Absolute Carnage.
Absolute Carnage. Yep. There we are.
I don't know.
The funeral for Flash was fantastic.
Yes.
I did like how they all they kind of circled around Normie to get symbiote out of him, but apparently he has a little bit in him because
Codex, baby. There you go.
Yep. I really did enjoy the funeral for
Flash. Yeah.
For Flash, though I think in Absolute Carnage is going to come and dig that up because I'm sure there's Codex in there.
Okay.
Because he was symbiote twice. I did enjoy the.
I think the anti-venom one was like some synthetic bullshit, but I got you.
But
I understand where you're
he still had the venom symbiote. Yes. I really did enjoy the little side story where he saved that one guy in the convenience store.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
This whole thing, the guy's rushing to go say goodbye to his father who's dying of some terminal illness.
Okay.
and it's like this guy's life through the years.
Oh, this was like filler of
yeah,
Spider-Man 800 or some shit.
Yeah. And then you have what we were talking about with Horizon Labs and
Otto.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was my fucking Carnage journey.
I think it ended on a high point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, minus Flash dying. Spoiler,
well,
guys.
but still, a great story. That's what I mean.
Absolutely.
Not like a good, like a feel-good story. Like,
yeah.
This was definitely the end of a specific era in Spider-Man.
Yes, I agree.
That I guess Dan Slott kind of like, then he moved on, and then whomever is writing it right now is writing it right now.
Chip Zdarsky.
Is it Zdarsky? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, great stuff. Greatest hits, like I said. You got a little Goblin, little Symbiote, little Flash Thompson's in the mix. You got some Alex Ross art. You're good to go, baby. This is a good read.
It was a good.
Red Goblin.
I enjoyed it.
Overall, Spider-Man books can't go wrong.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. There you go. So, Tommy, you let me borrow the Fatal Attraction Omnibus, which, like you said, I gifted to you. And man, oh man, this is a beefy book.
It's a big girl.
So, I mean, the Fatal Attraction storyline itself is basically the return of Magneto. That's really the core of it.
Yep.
So a little bit of backstory, because I'm not really familiar with X books at that time, or really for now. The last time we saw Magneto was like we mentioned before, the famous Jim Lee / Chris Claremont X-Men 1 through 3. Okay. Basically, Wolverine, wow. Magneto is just like, I've had enough. And
fuck y'all.
Exactly. That's because he's been a bad guy, he's been a good guy, he's been an ally, he's been whatever. He's been this and that. This is when he was like, I'm the supervillain, and I'm gonna fuck y'all up.
He finally embraced what he was.
Sure, yes. He did that thing, and at the end of it, he was presumed dead, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm getting from the book. Okay.
Because of
the asteroid crashed into the Earth.
And
I'm guessing just based off of what I'm reading.
And Fabian Cortez shenanigans.
Right. Okay. So Fabian Cortez was an acolyte, which basically just a follower of Magneto.
Yeah.
To the point that people are kind of seeing Magneto as almost like a religious zealot.
Savior
from mutant kind.
Yep.
Yes. I get it. Hey, I got it. I'm educated. I can read between the lines.
You've also watched the X-Men cartoon.
I have also watched the X-Men cartoon, yes. And I know who Magneto is, and I understand the dichotomy between Magneto and Xavier. Based off the movies also, don't get me wrong, because like the movies I think do a good job in showing the friendship and also animosity, good word, between Xavier and Magneto. They both want the best for mutant kind. They both have different ways of getting there.
Now, do you feel you get a better perspective of that between Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, or James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender?
I would only say Michael Bender. Wow.
Bender. I just got a picture of Magneto as Bender from Futurama.
Oh boy. He does bend metal, yes, and he's 80% metal. I get that mostly through McAvoy and Fassbender, only because they show the backstory.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I mean, outside of like the X-Men animated series, that was really all of the X-Men that I knew.
Sure.
Up until the Bryan Singer movies, that dirty pedophile. He still made pretty good movies, but whatever. He fucked boys.
He did, but...
He did.
Damn, he found the perfect Wolverine.
Yeah, no, good for him. Even though he didn't want him to read any comic books, whatever.
Yeah, and he snuck all of the comics.
And he fucked a bunch of boys.
Well, I mean, Hugh Jackman...
Bryan Singer.
Hugh Jackman snuck all the comics into his trailer.
So, and he's just a great actor. He's just a method actor, despite the environment he was put upon. However, so that's really my X-Men knowledge. It was the X-Men animated series, the X-Men movies... And kind of just what I would pick up here and there, you know? Like, I would understand just based off of...
rambling.
Stuff like Age of Apocalypse, Onslaught. Like, I would understand these characters. It's just I never got into these characters.
Sure.
So...
And our 10-year friendship.
Very true. Yeah, more than 10 years. Yeah, it has to be. Probably 12.
10-year.
10-year.
Like
10-year friendship? Do you say 10-year? Or 10-year?
I meant like, you know, a teacher gets tenure.
Right, but you wouldn't say my 10-year teachership.
You know what I mean?
I didn't. That's why I'm asking you this. Anywho.
Anyway,
so X-Men books.
This is
really
why I am Xavier and you're Magneto, because I'm gonna mind wipe you.
Spoiler alert. Okay, so Fatal Attraction again. Just to kind of speed me up to.
There's a lot of
take me up. Well, okay, so
there is a lot of fucking
from what
build up.
I'm getting with the backstory that's not in this delicious omnibus is Magneto's dead, quote unquote. He is presumed dead. I'll put it that way. Presumed dead.
Big quote.
Yeah, exactly. Because they were like, he died in the asteroid M crashing into Earth.
Yeah.
Sure. I believe it. Okay, no problem. Mutant
like
Massacre
wrestling.
happened. Right?
Yeah.
Executioner Song happened, which I know is another favorite of yours.
Well,
Mutant Massacre definitely happened.
Mutant Massacre happened.
Prior to this? They didn't. He did
prior
mention
to
this.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
He was the headmaster during Mutant Massacre of Xavier's school.
Oh, okay. He made light of it, and I assumed it was when he was in hiding. So
yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
He was headmaster during Mutant
so
Massacre.
The big X-Men storylines, Mutant Massacre, Executioner Song,
Inferno
happened. Inferno, yes.
Because in Inferno, he was actually a member. He was
of the Hellfire Club.
Hellfire Club, and he was running the school.
Sure.
And the New Mutants were like, we can't fucking follow him.
But in Magneto's wacky,
he was protecting the New Mutants.
Exactly. He's trying to do this stuff with the bad guys to help the good guys.
Because he did so wrong by his own kids.
Right. So he's a complicated character. Don't get me wrong. And I love shit like that. I love when you're trying to take a wacky cornball character as a man who can, touch magnets and make them completely nuanced and grow them up to a point where they're a religious zealot and they have a following that will take their word to the grave.
And they can literally flip the earth if they wanted to.
Absolutely. And then you also give them super goddamn powers where they can just flip the earth. So, Fatal Attraction Omnibus does not start with the actual Fatal Attraction main event, we'll say. It starts with basically the return of the Acolytes. The Acolytes are, like we said before, religious zealots for Magneto. They're basically taking his word as, like, you're with us or against us, basically.
Exactly.
Like bottom line. Like, maybe that's not what Magneto says, but that is how they are interpreting his voice.
Well, because they're being ran by
a man who's controlling
who is a fucking zealot.
Yes, absolutely.
He's a fucking religious zealot.
So you have the Acolytes returning, so you got that stuff. There's also a subplot of the X-Force Factor. God damn it! Every time. The X-Factor, which is the government-run organization of mutants.
You think it would be the other way around.
Yeah,
and I correct.
Yeah,
I understand why you get confused.
So what did I say again? X-Factor?
X-Factor.
So X-Factor is the right one.
Yes.
Because now in my mind,
Ran by Havoc.
Run by Havoc and the team Polaris, Wolfsbane. Well, Forge isn't in this really. Forge is kind of like an exile sort of a little bit. Strong guy, multiple man, Quicksilver.
Over. That's why.
Oh, he did?
Forge fuck Storm.
So from what I understand, from what I gather, in this book alone, Forge was basically like, "Hey, Storm, let's leave this shit. And be with me. Shut the fuck up." And then Storm's like, "Nah, bro, I'm leading the X-Men, so I got to do this thing." Right. And then Forge's like, "Peace out, B."
You remember how in Mutant Massacre, how Storm didn't have powers?
Yes, I remember that.
That's because of Forge. Forge hit her with his depower ring.
After she. Wow. All right. So I didn't realize that.
After she.
I know Mutant Massacre was a little. Was like definitely like in mid.
Yeah.
Like
after she
something's going on.
Yeah. After she turned him down, he was like, "All right, bitch, fuck you. Now you need me."
So something I want to just say straight up, now that we're talking about Storm, is that for someone who doesn't read a whole lot of X books, and who's really mostly reading Spider-Man books, which is basically just one main character, you have so many different characters with so many different voices, and I really do appreciate it. Storm, I think, comes off super duper duper strong in this as the leader of the X-Men, but still will question Xavier.
Absolutely.
Cyclops, who comes off super duper strong, but is still...
will follow him to the ends of the fucking earth.
Wow, it's like you took the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's quite alright. No, it's all good, but I see what's going on. Talking about X-Factor... Did I say it right?
Havoc's team?
Havoc, yes, Havoc's
Yes.
team. Havoc. There's the first issue you talk about Havoc. You talk about X Factor in this omnibus is Dr. Samson of all people is doing basically a psychoanalysis of the team at the time, which I think is fantastic because it really speeds you up for somebody who's a new reader. And you definitely see, like, okay, you have the son of Magneto on here, so, like, oh, how is that going to work with shit? Well, he's kind of like, he's definitely in the shadow of a man who's basically this weird genocidal mutant, and he doesn't want to be in there. Plus, he's got super speed, so he's just like, I gotta be my own person now, you know? So, I get that stuff. Havoc is a great leader, however, will always be overshadowed, for better or worse, by Scott Summers.
And I will say to my dying breath. Did you want another apple pie or no?
Yeah, okay, fine.
I will always say to my dying breath that...
Is that what you'll say to your dying breath? You want an apple pie?
He is... I will always say Havoc is better than Cyclops.
I don't. I've always loved Havoc over Cyclops, but that's just power-wise.
Because
that's not even like that's not even personality-wise.
He won't sit there and suck from the Xavier teat.
No, he'll write a check to Ransom to be like, "Hey, dude, get the fuck out of here."
Ransom's a great character. I love that power.
Cool. Is Ransom like Lobo? Or is, I mean, like, not in the sense to be like he's a bounty hunter who you just fucking like, well, okay, cool, you're paying me, guy, I'm out, you know?
That's pretty much what he is.
All right, so he is in that respect. Not like, you know, who is he in the Marvel universe? Like, he's like in that sense. Whatever, dude. Just put a drop of cinnamon in that.
You just want full apple?
No, I put a little bit of just.
Yeah.
So, but I like that about this omnibus because it brings you up to speed, and it brings up, like I said, the Acolyte's returning. It introduces you to X Factor. I'm going to do that every single time because I think X Force should be the government name. But what are you?
No, I agree. Well, I mean, for a bit, I'm sorry, I might be killing you tonight.
That's all good.
I mean, for a while, the government team was called Exterminators.
That, you know what, you're right, and I know that based off of Mutant Massacre, because that was the original X team. Yes. Well, yeah, because we did get a little confused. That's fine.
Yes.
So what they got going on is X Factor goes to Genosha. Genosha is presumably this. Just switch it, just trade it, whatever.
Not trade. I was gonna just.
All right, careful there, buddy. Oh
cool.
boy, watch the equipment.
Oh shit, sorry.
It's all good. X Factor goes to Genosha, which is presumably, I mean, if I'm basing it off the animated series knowledge, it was supposed to be a
haven,
mutant paradise, which
it
ends up. Hang on, let me speak, buddy. It ends up being a quote unquote a paradise, but it ends up being like a work camp, sort of like we're controlling you to do our job.
Yes.
Right? Okay. They introduced this concept of mutates, which I had to ask you about, clean it up. This concept of mutates, which they basically just turn mutants into just tools to do stuff. Again, it was something that was kind of beyond me.
They were slaves.
They were slaves, yes. They were basically work slaves. That's what
it was. Yes. They were work slaves.
Right. But that adds to the whole, like...
Storm was a mutate.
Right. Wolfsbane,
who was connected to Havoc.
Havoc, right, yeah, because he was powers.
He was a magistrate.
Right, so a magistrate is like a human or a leader or something that basically was in control of said mutate.
Yes, and Havoc didn't know he was a mutant. Because he lost his memory.
Okay, so see, after
they went through, and I can't find this story anywhere. After they went through the Siege Perilous, which is it wiped out a lot of things.
Okay, cool.
But that's why like Psylocke is in a British chick who's in an Asian body.
Okay, yes, that was something that I just kind of. I didn't know, but I was just like, whatever, fine, okay.
Yeah.
But that really, the point of this storyline, three things. One, shows you the hypocrisy that goes on, and I think is a huge story thread with the human/mutant relations. And they touch upon that in an issue of, I believe it's Uncanny X-Men, where Professor Xavier goes onto a show with Henry Garrick, who is the senator.
Peter
Or am I
Henry
getting?
Garrett.
Is it Peter Henry Garrett? I'm sorry. No. Senator Robert Kelly.
Yeah.
Who is the senator for
Garrick
basically like
was
human mutant relations.
Yeah.
And oh my God, what is this motherfucker's first name? Victor Creed. Victor Creed, who is
Graydon Creed.
Graydon Creed.
Who is the leader of Friends of Humanity.
Again, and I know this from the animated series. It's basically the Ku Klux Klan.
Absolutely.
But against mutants, as opposed to, against minorities, but what are you going to do? And spoiler alert, he is Sabretooth's daddy.
No, he's Sabretooth's son.
Oh, because right here.
He's Sabretooth and Mystique's son.
God damn it, right.
Yeah, Mystique's his mommy.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I think when I watched the animated series and I knew there was a relationship between the two of them, I just assumed he was the dad. Because a
lot of people thought Sabretooth was Wolverine's dad.
Yes.
A lot of people also thought Dr. Samson and Polaris were related.
Well, because they had green hair.
You're correct, sir.
But I think that's one of the biggest storylines that X-Men has going for it, and they do it as an outsider looking in. They do it so incredibly well, and it's real. Don't get me wrong. Again, as a cisgendered white male, I don't see or I don't understand a lot of discrimination or hypocrisy just based off of my complete blindness. So, and don't get me wrong, as far as, when it's translated in a sense like this with comic book characters and stuff like that,
it brings it more to light.
It brings it to light to me, okay? And that is my ignorance, and but it is well done, and I understand what it is representing.
Yeah, it explains it to you in a way that you understand.
Yes, and I'm able to understand that these people who are like, no, we have to fight for human rights. I'm like, okay, guy, take it easy. You know what I mean? And like, I don't get me wrong, Nation. I get that in 2020 right now. You need to fight for everybody's rights to party and to live and have healthcare and marry and just live a good life. That's it.
You have that whole thing comes into even more light when. Do you have any interest in reading AVX?
Yeah, we'll take that off air.
Yeah,
but
in general.
All right, so you know what, Tom?
Cyclops and Captain America kind of clash over that.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Cyclops looks at Captain America and was like, "Where were you?
Yeah,
where were you when our kids were getting killed?"
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like, and Captain America was just like, "I don't have an answer."
Yeah, no, in the same.
He's like, you sit there and you wear the flag.
No, in the same sense, you sit there, Captain America, on your chair. No, in the same sense where Captain America versus Iron Man was a matter of government right versus individual rights, then you have Captain America versus Cyclops, where it's like now whose individual rights are more.
Exactly.
More. Yeah, no,
exactly.
I absolutely understand. I'm not a dummy. I just don't. Yeah, I just don't say. You don't get that in a Spider-Man book. I'll tell you that much.
When it's in pretty colors, you understand it more.
Oh, absolutely.
As fucked up as it sounds.
So anyway. This omnibus does a great job in basically laying...
X-Men 300 is great.
We're getting
in there. Sorry.
Basically laying this all fucking out. Another thing that's kind of has a nice little thread in here, and we talked about this earlier with Executioner Song, is the introduction of the Legacy Virus. So now the Legacy Virus is basically just mutant AIDS, right?
Pretty much, essentially, yeah.
And the first notable character to contract this disease, is Illyana Rasputin, whom is the younger sister of Cyclops, Peter Rasputin, who already is a very Colossus, yes. Codename Colossus. Did I say Cyclops?
You said Cyclops.
I'm so bad. I apologize.
You've been drinking. It's okay. Yes. I'm going to allow it.
Is the younger sister of Colossus. Jesus, I almost said it again.
And
who's already gone through a lot of shit.
Yeah, because she's pretty much the queen of hell.
Right. But, okay, so...
Because you read The Demon Bear.
I read The Demon Bear, and they did talk about this in a later issue in this book where they talk about, she was a teenager, and then she turned into a child again.
In Inferno,
she
was found... And again, I'm not going to go too much into it.
I assume Inferno brought her back, but I guess that's the thing.
Inferno, in Inferno, Colossus,
she fully gained her.
Colossus, she's full demon.
Okay.
Like demon goddess.
Right.
But then something happens and Colossus bugs the fuck out because he sees her armor crumpled up.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, no. And he rips it open and little Ileana pops out.
Okay, so that's how...
So she gets regress staged, which I never really understood.
Well,
but I think it was
comics.
I think it was more.
You got Cable, who's from an alternate future, who came back into the past. You got Bishop from an alternate future,
and Cable, who's a child again right now.
I don't care about right now. I'm talking about what's happening right now in this.
Well, we're gonna go. Well, when we get to a major part in this, we're gonna go into. Right, just a comment.
Sure.
Of of what's going in comics right now.
You have Executioner Song, right?
Yeah, that was. We were actually going to try and do Drunk Tom on comics.
The pilot.
That was failure, right? And because your fiance was like that was dumb.
Yeah, that wasn't great. We need to revisit our concept with that, but we'll talk about that off air. But I would be curious with that because, again, coming from Spider-Man books, the Carrion virus, which is basically something that Jackal came up with to basically, it's just a death virus, like death virus, guys, get ready. That seems similar to what happened with the Legacy virus, because I did look up with it what was going on. Yes. But put a pin in it. I'm not talking about it. I'd be curious. Maybe next time. Trading the backs. Either way, Ileana Rasputin has Legacy virus. And everyone's just like, Christ almighty, I don't know what to do. She's gonna die. Colossus is hanging on by a thread right now. I don't know what to do.
We don't want him to snap because he could destroy the mansion if he really wants to.
Uncanny X-Men 64-page annual. I own this comic somewhere, somehow. And every time you've mentioned Executioner Song, I see this bird beak motherfucker. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, Strife? You know what I mean? I own this, and I never
can understand.
And Tom, I will explain my ignorance. I've never read it until now.
You did
until now, and I love the art. And basically, it then reveals that Mastermind, that old
Jason Wingard,
Brotherhood of Evil Mutants motherfucker, has Legacy virus. So he's another. He bites the dust.
They also brought his daughters into the X-Men.
In this book?
No,
I don't give a shit! Stop telling me about new stuff! I'm talking about this stuff!
You talked about him, and I'm just saying that his legacy
take it easy,
still
Wikipedia.
Lives.
I don't care.
Well, guess what?
Guess what? His legacy died! I read it! No. He's dead! No. Chris. Nobody dies in comics.
Chris.
Moving on. Moving on.
Actually, I believe he's actually back, because I think they just brought him back.
I don't give a shit. Because I'm just telling you what I'm reading, and that's what Trading the Backs is all about.
Chris,
moving on, Tom.
Chris, you put real quick. You put a dime in me. I'm gonna go, baby. Come on, you should know this.
Tom, I'm the upstarts. We're the upstarts. Just an attempt to make new evil mutants.
What the upstarts
were? Trevor Fitzroy and Fabian Cortez.
When you're done talking.
I'm just trying. Was that just like a?
And the Game Master.
Yeah. Was it just like we have new guys? We want to make them evil. Like that's it.
Well, Trevor Fitzroy came over with Bishop.
Right.
Pretty much the Game Master was just like. Yeah. Sorry, I put a lot more fire whiskey in there.
That's fine. Whatever. Is that what the Game Master said?
The Game Master, yeah.
All right.
The Game Master was just like...
I got drunk, guys. I'm sorry. We're doing the same
shit. What that is.
Did they drop the storyline? Once Magneto comes back and gets...
It was a lot of Uncanny X-Men stuff. But the Game Master was just like, hey, look, I'm going to create a game. Whoever can fuck with people more, you get points.
Sure.
So, like, you had... Trevor Fitzroy, Fabian Cortez, I think the Fenris twins.
I think you might be right. Then they have
Sebastian Shaw. Sebastian Shaw is part of there. Shinobi Shaw. Yeah.
And Victor Creed. Graydon Creed. I'm sorry.
Who was actually the only human involved in there.
Yes.
And he was feeling inadequate.
Look at that Bagley art right here. I could pick that shit out.
I forgot Bagley did a little bit of X-Men.
Well, I mean, he did a. It was just like a
poster.
Yeah, just a poster.
Was that X-Men 300 you just passed?
No, this is I think unlimited or annual.
Oh yeah.
This might be unlimited.
Yeah. Is it just Storm, Xavier, and
Cyclops?
I thought
unlimited.
that was X-Men 300.
No, not yet. We're not there yet.
Oh.
But still. So again, just fanning through the Omnibus Nation, I just want to tell you that there is a lot of setup with which
it does
is what holy shit with what is going on.
That's what the X-Men do, man. They will.
And I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong.
So do I.
I appreciate that. They're just sitting there. All of the X-Men just sitting there.
Like that's what I'm waiting for. All this Dawn of X and Powers of X to just hit a fucking massive omnibus.
Sure.
Because that's all I want now in my life.
I agree.
Because I can't afford to be buying 10 different fucking books.
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, you also have, like, a lot of, like... What's that? Let me say?
No, continue.
I think you might be passing one of my favorite things, though.
Well, we were talking about X-Men 300.
So that was X-Men 300 you were just fanning through. Yeah.
What? No, that was after that. So what happened to X-Men 300? X-Men 300
X-Men 300 was Cyclops... Didn't Cyclops, Storm, and Professor X...
No, I'm pretty sure that was unlimited. Yeah. I think X-Men 300 was them rescuing Moira from the Acolytes. I think that was it. Which kind of seems a little... I don't want to say lame, but it was just like, oh, okay.
Moira's an intricate...
Oh, I'm sorry. X-Men 300 ends with the whole fact that, like, oh, shit, Illyana has the legacy virus. Like, that's the big
Yeah, and I think, didn't Beast, like, go to Colossus at one point and be like, yo, you shouldn't be hugging her the way you are?
Beast is, like, not really in this.
I mean, he shows up in the background.
He's not in it. He was just making jokes on fucking Graydon Creed the whole time in the first issue.
He's a fucking joke.
Of course he is. Alright, so, anyway, enough preamble.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a little more preamble. So, Illyana Rasputin dies because it's the fucking mutant AIDS in the legacy virus. Yeah. So, la-di-da. Also, Magneto's alive. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
Not a spoiler to X-Force in this case because Cable reintroduces himself to X-Force because he's doing something with the time stream. I don't fucking know.
And that shit when, like, Cannonball is just like... Yo, I could put my fist through your fucking face right now if I want to.
Yeah, no, I get it, but
Well, Cannonball was a little pissed because he looked at Cable as a father.
Yeah, but then, like...
because Cable also was grooming Cannonball.
Right, and then he left, and then he was like, I'm back. And then he's back, and then Sam is like, I'm sorry, Daddy, and then he hugs him, and that's it.
But Sam also wasn't... He didn't
want to be the leader.
He didn't relinquish leadership, though.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because Cable was like, yo, Sam, this is your group.
All right, so...
This is your group. And which, by the way...
Wow.
Wow, okay, fuck you, Nation. No, seriously, Nation. But, the part that we're at right now is when
Fatal Attraction starts getting hot and heavy.
Hot and heavy. The single issues have the holographs, which I lost.
Sorry to hear that.
When my basement used to flood.
Oh, jeez.
I lost.
Yeah, holograms were never really like they weren't like time proof. You know what I mean? Like
no. I lost everything when Jean and Scott got married. Everything I lost. But yeah, in X-Force 25, that's.
I'm not throwing any more numbers out. I'm good.
Give me the fucking book.
No, no. This is my book report.
Actually, you took Red Goblin from me while I was still talking about my book report.
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
You
were still talking about it.
There's no way to prove.
There's no way to prove it.
So X-Men 25.
Can you stop? I'm talking.
Well, you put the fucking book down. I don't know what the fuck you were doing. I thought you were wrapping it up.
I was starting going from the head, but now you're going crazy. Okay, so Fatal Attraction. Crazy. Okay, I'm going from the head. Fatal Attraction. Basically, hey, guess what? Magneto's alive. X-Force knows this. Great. All right. Magneto
gets fucked up, right?
Oh yeah, Magneto rips him basically right up apart. But then he's back next issue. It's all good.
And it's pretty
comic books.
Fantastic because what is it? Cable's old ship's name is Grey Malkin.
Yes,
Grey Malkin is the street that the X-Men's X-Mansion is on.
Okay, that's fine. So So
I told you I was
yes,
gonna hijack.
that was the thing. So that was basically how you encompass Cable and X-Force. Was just like, oh shit, Cable, somebody took your fucking spaceship and hijacked it, and it's this guy Exodus who they just introduced, and guess what? Magneto's there too, and Magneto also was the leader of New Mutants. So now Cannonball is like, oh shit, all right, man, I'm with you. So therein lies one of my issues with this omnibus / story, because I don't know if this is the full story. They make Magneto returning such a big deal that it just happens. You know what I mean? Like, so Tom, let me walk you through. Let me walk you through with what I read. Okay.
Well, real quick, you were talking about Exodus.
Yes.
In the current shit
I don't give a shit about.
Can
I? Ryan,
please, you're gonna enjoy this.
I'm already not.
In the current run, so there's a secret council, and Mr. Sinister's on the secret council on Krakoa, and so is Exodus. Sinister and Exodus start going back and forth about who has the better cape.
All right, so.
You were such an asshole.
Tom, I'm trying to do a book report and you're just interrupting with me with fucking...
Dude, I'm gonna be interrupting, so get the fuck over it.
No, you need to...
Can I see what you're talking about?
No, I'm gonna bring it up to you, okay?
But I need to see it.
Tom, relax, okay? I
I'm a
understand
visual
comic
person.
books is your thing. Let me just ease me into it, baby, okay? Just let it happen, okay?
Dude, I go full anal.
No, you just have to let it happen.
So
my issue
X-Pac
is the pacing. We go from the Acolytes, obviously. Something's going on. What's happening? Someone's talking about, oh, there's a strong mutant in the Arctic. Oh, what's going on here? Now, Cable goes with X-Force. Cool. Here comes Exodus. Oh, let me take you to the spaceship. Oh my god, Cable, it's my spaceship. Oh my god, here's this hooded figure who takes the brain implants out of Skids and Rusty, sure.
Who were in Mutant Massacre.
Yes, I remember that. And then...
Because those were the mutant implants that Strife put in
which I don't know about, because I didn't read that. So then you see Cannonball talk to this hooded figure as some sort of like man-to-man sort of thing. So it's like, okay, cool. La la la. I led them here, sir. And I learned it from watching you, basically. Okay, like, something's going on here.
Okay.
All right, I get it. I understand. And then, all of a sudden, Cannonball is like, yeah, it's Magnus.
He realized who the hooded figure was.
I get that, but shouldn't there have been, like, a big reveal? You know what I mean? Like the fact that like, that's what I don't like.
The big reveal comes in the next Fatal Attractions issue.
See, that was my gripe.
I disagree.
Well, you can't disagree with my opinion.
I can.
You can. Okay, let me phrase it. You can disagree with my opinion. However, it is still my opinion.
Sure.
And it is a gripe because I feel like, you see this hooded figure, and to be honest, I know it's Magneto. I know because I haven't seen him yet. Okay, I know it's Magneto. So shh. Okay, so shh.
Okay.
Right? Okay. They're not mentioning Magneto. They're mentioning, I'm rerouting the iron flow in their blood. Like, okay, I'm not an idiot. I know that's what Magneto does, but maybe this magic man can do this stuff. All right, I get it. Oh, I learned it from watching you because you were the leader in the New Mutants. I get it because I know this. He was the leader in the New Mutants.
He was the headmaster of Xavier's Institute for Gifted Youngsters.
He was kind of at the time he was the leader. When the New Mutants were there. Right, but he was kind of the leader.
He didn't go out on missions, he was the
Oh
headmaster.
my god, but he was kind of in charge of the New Mutants
He was in charge of the school. I will fight you on that.
No, you're just fighting the semantics.
No, I'm not. Okay, fine, yes. I will agree that there should have been a bigger... Well, there was a big reveal.
Yeah, after the fact? Like, this is 2 pages after the fact you see Magneto.
Well, yeah, because... And then
he rips Cable.
And then Cable is just like, no, you're not taking my kids from me.
So that plot-wise, that's my biggest gripe. is, and maybe that's because I'm reading it in this way versus reading all the Uncanny X-Men and then being like, oh my god, it's Magneto.
But the way,
you know what I mean, I don't know how these books were spanned out.
The way they put them in is. Oh, so you mean?
You know what I understand.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm just reading all the, I mean, at this time,
I understand.
The core, quote unquote, X books were what? Uncanny and X-Men.
Uncanny, X-Men, X-Force.
Right, but
X-Factor,
X-Force, X-Factor, Excalibur, Wolverine, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing that. However, the way that this omnibus presents it, to me, the reader who has never read the story but understands the plot points, Magneto's just like, I'm here, bitch! Like, that's
But if that's your only gripe as of right now...
Plot-wise.
Plot-wise?
Oh, no, plot-wise, yeah. No, plot-wise...
Dude, look how far you're in.
No, I don't have a lot of issues with the plot. I think the plot is awesome. I think, again, I understand. Absolutely, for someone who...
I agree with you.
Okay,
I agree.
Thank you. For someone who basically bases themselves on Spider-Man books, and really that's it.
Just one person.
Wow. Having a team-based story is...
Not just a team, a family.
Absolutely, yes. I gotta shut this off. This is fucking, like... just TV going on in general. Just having one single voice is a little distracting versus having a...
You mean not having one single voice is distracting?
Distracting is a bad word. Because I used that word just now. It is... Unnerving? How do I put this? Not unnerving. It is... You can follow it. You know what I mean? Versus...
So just having Spider-Man be like... Hey, oh fuck, Dr. Octopus is beating me up.
Right.
Versus, hey, Cyclops, oh fuck, Graydon Creed's trying to kill us. And then Professor X being like, hey, Peter Gyrick, fuck you, mutants deserve the right to vote.
You know what, yeah.
And then, you know, I can understand
You're pretty much there. Having more voices mean more plots, even regardless if it's the same plot. You're having different personalities, different perspectives on different items going on. And it's really good. I really do enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. But however, it is a little...
Right.
It's hard to follow because you have to kind of understand people's histories and stuff like that. And nothing in this book threw me for a loop. Unless I asked you for it. Unless it was a history thing with, like, mutates. Like, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck mutates is. I understand. Or, didn't I ask you another question? Or even like new characters like Exodus. Like I knew of Exodus. I knew of Exodus, but I'm like, who is he? Like I don't give a shit really. To be honest.
I like with that. I like with Warpath.
You gonna tell me about his cape again?
No.
All right.
I like how with Warpath, how he was just like, I'd really hate to punch you out because you look like you're a Native American as well.
They did say something.
I'm like,
so,
like, and I also dig how like you kind of see how the ranking is in X-Force in this book. You have
Force, right?
Cable,
right?
Cannonball, and Boom Boom. Because at that point, Boom Boom is...
I never really got that.
Boom Boom...
I knew that
Cable... at this point, Boom Boom is sleeping with Cannonball.
I don't give a shit.
What
their sexual history is. I'm just telling you what I...
And I believe you had Sunspot in...
Sunspot was there.
In that council. But then you had Warpath, Feral, Richter, and Shatterstar outside of the cave.
Yeah, they were there.
So it's like you kind of see how it's just like...
But
these are the prime people that you should be focusing on.
Right, but that was based off of what I feel like Exodus brought into Asteroid M.
Well, that's...
not Asteroid M, I'm sorry, the Great Malkin. Or Haven, Avalon, whatever it's fucking called.
Well, that's because he wanted Cannonball, because Cannonball is a external. Sorry. Were you getting there?
Yes.
You took a while.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Because I was talking over you.
He wanted Cannonball, and Cannonball was like, well, listen, what about my friends? And then Cable's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then Cannonball's like, listen, just follow me, because we got to figure out who's doing this stuff. Which is, when we were talking about it, and Cable's like, hey, that's actually a great idea. So, that's, yes, I understand. To echo what you were saying, fucking Christ almighty, 40 minutes ago or something like that, I don't even know. I told you! Cannonball, yes, was leading X-Factor.
Force?
Damn it.
You were there, brother.
Because again, it's a matter of like, I think X-Force is the...
You're like John Ralphio, you were there, just stop.
He was leading X-Factor. Wait, X-Force.
X-Force,
X-Force. Fucking I knew I was wrong. He was leading X-Force to the point where he didn't want to do it, but he was doing it. And then Cable came back, and he's just like, okay, cool, fine, you can have it. But, you know, he can't shut it off. So he did this thing, and he went to Avalon, found out that it was Magneto. And again, to me, it was a little... But whatever. It's all good. Because, hey, guess what? Magneto is revealed. Now he's going to
X-Factor's next, correct?
No, Uncanny X-Men.
Wait.
No, yeah, the next book in this omnibus is Uncanny X-Men 304, which deals with the return of Magneto, gives you a little bit of backstory as far as what's going on, and also the funeral for Ileana Rasputin. Again, sad time. Hey, real sad time. Let's grieve about it. Nope, I'm Magneto. I'm going to show up and be like, hey, guess what? Whose dream is dead? Xavier's. Who's going to follow me? Hey, Colossus, maybe you? Okay, cool, come on, because you're a little disenfranchised with everything. That's cool. Hey, pause, Tom, real quick. I do like, because I guess Bishop wasn't around in X-Men 1 through 3. Or was he? But he wasn't part of the team.
He did not show up until X-Men number 8.
Okay. So he's an X-Factor in this whole fight because his power is he can absorb mutant power, energy, and redirect it. Yep. And while Magneto is like, okay, fuck all y'all, I'm freezing you based off my electromagnetism powers.
And he's freezing the iron in their blood.
Yes, specifically. Look, Bishop's like, well, you're giving me all your power, bitch, and I'm charging up. And while Magneto is soliloquying and blah, 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 blah.
Yep. Giving away his
even
plots.
Rogue is like, the classic villain trope.
Yeah, Rogue's like, yo, dude, I'm
gonna steal some of your power. Smooch, and then he's like, oh my god. And then he's like, yeah, that's right, I'm still fucking strong, bitch.
Well, that's because he learned that he could actually put a thin magnetic field around himself.
Well, he didn't say that. But what I do like is there is a line in here where Moira McTaggart, I guess at some point in Magneto's history in the comic books, he basically gets turned into a child. Mm-hmm. Comic books. Yep. Then gets turned back into a human. Back into an older man. Not necessarily the same age. An adult. However, Moira McTaggart, again, at this point, now she's a mutant, but she was a human here. I don't know. At this point, it was determined that either way, Magneto's fucking loco. And he is, every time he gets crazier. Due to his powers, maybe, I don't know, the magnetism in the brain and the shit like that, I don't know. But he goes nutty.
It really is a great power.
So, he's fucking strong. He's one of the strongest mutants, at least at this point. Probably still, I'd imagine.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I do enjoy... Did you pass it yet?
What are we talking about, Tom?
I do enjoy when you see, like, all the energy producers, like, kind of on Bishop.
Yes, okay, that did happen in this issue.
Like, you see Havoc, you see Jubilee, you see Gambit.
Yeah, because everybody's there for
the Bishop,
funeral.
And then Bishop is, like, he's fully charged.
Yeah, Cyclops, Storm, Polaris, Havoc, Jean, and Boom Boom, I think.
Jean.
It looks like Jean.
Let me say that shit.
It looks like Jean. Because I would say that would be Polaris.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, like, you know...
Eat that crow, bitch.
You know what, Chris?
Don't scare the dog. What's wrong with you?
I'm clapping you. Come here, Rox. Come here, Roxanne.
Let me give us a little side story.
And then,
okay, so he basically came and said, listen, Xavier's dream ain't fucking working, motherfuckers. And then who else can believe that? Colossus, whose sister just died?
Fucking Bishop is sitting there. Fucking, he has Magneto on the goddamn ropes right now.
Colossus knocks him out, yes.
Knocks him out. He fucking almost breaks the goddamn guy's spine.
I don't care. Moving on. So you have X-Men Unlimited 2.
At me, man.
I'm not angry. I'm trying to speed through this.
No.
Tom, I understand you're very passionate about X-Men, and I appreciate this, and I love this. However, shut the fuck up, and let me talk about this X-Men book.
We've been doing this shit for 4 hours.
It's been going way too long.
Never.
So we get a couple side stories here and there, basically just kind of divulging more about X-Men characters. But bottom line is that Magneto has a space base, and Colossus is there now. Yes, thank you, Tom. Has a space base and is ready to pull the trigger on humankind because. So yes. Granted, he was a Holocaust survivor. I understand that. So why would this person want to do anything that was anything like Hitler? He is trying to be preemptive. That's basically the bottom line. Okay, X-Men 25, which is probably the most important issue in this book.
And in Tommy Cash's life.
Okay, in Tommy Cash's life. The humans, I'm saying that the citizens of the Earth, the non-mutant populace.
The UN. Nick Fury and the UN.
Yes.
And Val Cooper.
The non-mutant populace basically decide, you know what? No, you're not doing this shit. They do this thing called the Magneto Protocols, which basically is which is a satellite network to basically protect the Earth from an electromagnetic attack. Okay? Magneto's like, nah, fuck this shit.
Which was something Xavier gave them.
Okay, fine. I didn't know that. Not reading the book. So Magneto's like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm gonna fuck your shit up. So he does that. He does this big electromagnetic pulse throughout the Earth. The entire Earth feels it. Shit I like. Hey, the Fantastic Four, like, what the fuck was that?
Yep.
Excalibur, what the fuck was that?
Yep.
Beast over here was like, what the fuck was that? I like that shit. Because, hey, guess what? It's the whole Earth, right? It's not just a mutant thing now. Even, like I said, we saw Nick Fury. I like that shit. So Professor X is like, okay, this is enough. We gotta stop this shit.
We need to take a task force.
Yes. So Professor X in this weird, is it Shi'ar technology bodysuit that he has? Oh, he got the shit from X-Men Unlimited 2, blah, which is this weird plastic.
And I'm sure Forge was involved in making it.
He didn't seem like he was involved that much. Every time they were like, we gotta talk to Forge, he was like, nah, he's sad.
It's a lot of side shit. Like, hey, like fucking Chuck will go to Forge and be like, hey, look, I'm gonna in my cripple chair.
So Professor X is like, we need a task force to go to Avalon to stop this shit once and for all. He gets Wolverine and Gambit, who are like his stealth guys, Jean Grey and himself, which are the psychic guys, and then Quicksilver and Rogue, which is like, he's like, okay, you got some vendetta, so I need you guys to get your shit off, like, get your shit out in the open. Let's do this shit.
Everyone he took has vendettas.
Well, absolutely, but these are like, okay, that's his son and that's his lover or whatever.
Ex-lover.
Whatever. All right, so then they go to Avalon. They were able to, thanks to Colossus. So Colossus was like, all right, fine, come on in. You know, like, all right, you know what?
Come on!
As long as you guys don't start a fight, come on in.
Yeah, see, Colossus is like that one guy you invite to a party. You're like, yo, okay, look.
Oh, he got you into the party and you overdrank.
Yo, if you ain't gonna core shit, come on in.
Yeah,
and then you just get loaded and you're like, yo.
That's really what I just said. You don't let me finish. Tom, you don't let me finish. But either way, they were able to successfully get everybody else off of Avalon. So it's just those 6 X-Men and Magneto. And Colossus is there too, I'm sorry. And maybe somebody else, I'm sorry. But it's not important. So they finally hit it hard. You've got, obviously, you got your stealth team doing their shit. You got Rogue and Quicksilver doing their shit. And then the main thing is you have Xavier and Jean Grey. So now Xavier and Jean Grey, their whole thing is like, okay, we gotta fuck him up, like, mentally, to the point that we have to show that he is wrong. That's what I got. However, Professor X takes a little too much. Jean Grey, who is a sweet angel from heaven, is just like, that's not what you want. Like, no, this isn't right. We can't manipulate people's memories.
Yes, but one of the main reasons he brought Jean with him,
because he needs his psychic powers to use his fucking Shi'ar suit.
Thank you.
Right. Okay.
But yes, you
so there's a little bit of friction.
But she's not super sweet.
There's a little bit of friction between the psychic power team of Professor X and of Jean Grey, because right now Professor X is like, we have to stop him. This is too much, and I like this writing because it's a matter of Magneto is really taking his dream into his own hands right now, because of being like, no, I need to make a paradise for all mutants, which means I need to stop people who will kill us. And now Professor X is like, no, I need to make my dream right and stop people who will prevent me from making peace with everybody on Earth. Right?
Yeah, this is where you really see the Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
Exactly, yes. But this is like the first time Professor X is like, no, I'm taking the first shot. I need to stop him now because he is going to prevent my dream from happening. But then he takes a little too far.
He didn't really take the first shot right now.
But no, I mean he's not being like
he's on the front line.
That is his, to me, that's his first shot, because he's not just like, nah, Magneto's fine.
I'm really surprised.
We'll wait till he does something.
I'm surprised he didn't be like, yo, Cyclops.
I mean, he did do something.
Cyclops, go take care of that.
Like, they're in a spaceship. That was they made a mention of that.
Because even Cyclops was arguing that
they're in
why
space,
he wasn't
they
part
can't
of it.
use energy wielders because that could blow it up.
Right, because Cyclops wanted the first 5 X-Men there.
Yes,
and
he did
Xavier.
say that. Yes, he did say that. He was like,
So.
why don't you get your team with you? And he's just like, well, I'm in space. You're gonna blow it up.
You guys
by accident.
You guys will fuck me
right.
up. Like,
so the friction between Jean and Xavier kind of come to a head when Jean is like, listen, I can't do this. This is wrong. This isn't what you taught me to do. This isn't what you wanted me to do. And then Xavier's like, Jean, how could you? So Magneto gets a little bit, he's able to kind of get his feet under himself. Wolverine's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna fucking end this shit.
You.
And then Magneto's like, no. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Magneto did. I'm sorry, Wolverine did get him.
Well, hold on first. Quicksilver took the shot before Wolverine did, I believe.
Okay, yeah, who cares?
No, because he was gonna kill Quicksilver.
I didn't get that from here.
He was gonna kill Quicksilver, and Wolverine was just like, fuck you, nope. Like, if anyone's gonna kill, like, if a man's gonna kill their own son, you don't deserve to live.
I stand corrected.
It's okay.
He was going to do this. I'm sorry, but again, because I know what's going to happen, I was expecting it to happen.
I know, and believe me, man. Oh, God.
All right, relax. It's okay.
No, it's not.
Tom, just breathe. Count to 100.
I can't.
Shh, yes, you can.
Dude, I cry.
Just, oh my God. Don't cry on the podcast.
I really may.
Oh my God. Anyway, so he goes to kill his son, as you corrected me. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it right now. Wolverine is like, nah, fuck you, bitch. Clips him, like, pretty good, even though it's not like really gory or anything, unless it's in the omnibus. And then Magneto was just like, okay, that's it. You're done. So what he does, and this is probably one of the most pivotal things outside of Colossus turning in chronology of this omnibus, is that Magneto strips the adamantium off of Wolverine's skeleton. Yeah. Which, even in 2020... I don't know how it was then, but in 2020, you understand the process thanks to the movies and thanks to, the books that has come out since then. It was a fucking process for this boy to have this metal on his skeleton and his claws, which does come back later. But basically rips out... They did talk about a little bit, like, picture that scene from X2 where Magneto pulls the extra iron or whatever the fuck that Mystique put into that guard. Yep. To 1,000. Like, off of the skeleton, out of basically every pore and every wound that Wolverine sustained.
So, I know you're...
And he has a healing factor, so, like...
Now it's an overdrive.
Yes, exactly. So, it is like healing, ripping, healing, ripping, healing, ripping.
So, I know you're trying to get through this, but can I just interrupt you real quick?
You're gonna do it regardless.
I am. So, in current run... No. This is prominent.
Okay.
Or topical.
Okay.
So, fuck it. There was a mutant who was stealing, like, all the, like, mutant healing drugs that they were promising to the world. And, Wolverine was the only one that could kill this mutant. Because she had psychic powers and healing factor and all this shit. So, he was just like, alright, well... Guess what? And Magneto would not give his helmet up to Wolverine for the good of Krakoa. So then he took him out. Wolverine took Magneto out drinking, and he, got Magneto hammered, like to the point where Magneto completely and utterly blacked out. Pretty much what Chris has done to me a few times, what I've done to Chris a few times. So then finally, the mutant is extinguished the way, she should have been extinguished because of what she was doing, stealing from fellow mutants. So then Wolverine gives the helmet, kicks the helmet back to Magneto, and he goes like this. He's like, "Oh, by the way, we're even for you ripping the adamantium out of my body. And, oh, by the way, I also used your helmet as a toilet. So, have fun wearing that now. Enjoy yourself, Magneto." And I was, like, when I first saw that, I was just like, oh shit, they actually went fully back to, like, decades ago storyline. Yeah, Wolverine losing his adamantium was probably one of the most heartbreaking moments of my young comic book reading life. Because I was just like, wait, this is like the guy that I base myself off of. And I'm just like, wow, if he could get taken down and then raise himself back up, then you know what? I could pull myself up by my bootstraps and get back to life. This is what happens when Chris lets me
Was this an
vamp.
epiphany right now? Oh my god.
Well,
I had to take a leak.
You left me. And
I left you alone
you
for
know
too
what?
long.
Enjoy listening to that when you edit.
Yeah, I'll probably pull it out and post it separately.
You're a hurtful asshole.
So Magneto rips the adamantium off of Wolverine's skeleton,
yes.
which is a big moment. Huge moment.
Huge.
And then Xavier's like, you know what? That's fucking enough. And he mind wipes Magneto. To the point that he's basically, as this book mentions, he's basically a vegetable. I'm leaving it right there because things happen in comic books.
Lots of things happen years later.
Colossus is like, all right, that's enough. Get out of here. I got him. Get out of here. I brought you here. You did this thing. Get out. So Chris, that's really what it is.
Chris, is that how it is when you have me bounce parties at your house? When
that was like
when
Bonnie bounced my birthday.
Your birthday?
And when I was 22 or some shit like that.
Yes.
24.
But
he was like, he's sick. Get out. Everybody out.
Or that time when I had to bounce a bunch of people coming into your house.
To the Halloween party, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It was like, yo. And like, I don't know, just... There's one moment in there where it's just like, Jean Grey's holding him together, and he's holding Wolverine together, yes. And he's just, and it's just like, yeah, the one person who will like ever love him, like, and it's just like, oh man, so what are you up to now?
So this is Wolverine 25? 75, I'm sorry.
Wolverine my god.
75. So this is basically the repercussion of what happened with Fatal Attractions with X-Men 25. With basically, okay, what's going to happen? Jean is trying to keep, like you said, Wolverine together. You get a little bit of himself, and then he basically comes to, snaps out of it, and then leaves the X-Men because he's like, he has to find himself now because now the man who he, not necessarily what defined him, but the thing that made him has changed. He has bone claws, which that's he's still got claws. Don't get me wrong.
This is when you find out that he always had claws.
Yes. I mean, I knew that Origins. Going into it. Yeah, that wasn't like a big shock, but I knew he always had claws in the adamantium.
Oh, the note he writes to Jubilee.
Yeah,
and even nice. The note that he is the note that he writes.
The only write he writes to Jubilee. That's it.
Okay, so then the note he writes to Xavier is in X-Men 30 when. Sure. When Cyclops and Jean Grey get married.
Right. Okay.
And it pretty much just says, get over it.
Okay. Is that in this book? I missed that.
No.
Alright, I don't give a shit. So then they move on to Excalibur, which is actually the first Excalibur book in this issue. And basically they want Professor X, Jean Grey, and Cyclops kind of want to get in contact with Cyclops, get in contact with Colossus to try to kind of like heal him. Because in that one X-Men annual, that is the only comic I owned, he got injured to the point that he could not transform back into his human Peter Rasputin form.
Second time.
Sure.
Because that happened in Mutant Massacre as well.
Okay. So they do that. They try to get him to do that. So Tom, I'm going to refer to you. Actually, I have a question, and I hope you can answer me on this. So in this issue, you have Cable shows up, fine and dandy. You know, he's back to his bodied self. He knows something's going on, so he's like, this is a battle I gotta go to. And also on the team, or in this issue, is a young Rachel Summers, who is a time-displaced daughter of who? Scott and Madeline Pryor?
Nope. Jean Grey.
Oh, and Jean Grey. Okay.
She is because I don't know if you noticed, she goes like this. She goes, yeah, I'm not even supposed to exist.
Right.
Pretty much, she's from a possible future.
Gotcha. Okay, so at this point, though, as the reader, do we know that? Because I know Cable goes by Nathan
Summers
something or other. No, he goes by Nathaniel
Dayspring.
Dayspring Ascani.
So
do we know he's a Summers or no? Not yet.
At this point,
I'm guessing not, because they're like, there's something between us.
Yes,
like,
he does.
Oh, he does.
He does.
No, he does. Do we know that?
Yes.
Okay. So why is that? That doesn't seem like a big reveal.
All right.
That they're not doing.
I don't know where Dayspring comes from, but you know, Ascani is the
lady who raised him, right?
The clan,
right?
Who?
All right.
The lady that raised him in an old. The future that
I have to question that.
The future that Cyclops gave him up to. The lady was actually Rachel Summers.
Okay. I'm gonna. Oh, so maybe that's the relation. Well, the quote unquote again, not the same.
They're brother
people,
and sister.
It's time blah 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 blah.
They are brother
talk about,
and sister.
Hey, X-Men Annual. They got that in there.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? You're right.
They are
because
brother
X-Men
and sister.
Annual. They talk about like in Jean's psychic, weird mind that Mastermind does. They have. She has a son and a daughter, and they are both dressed up as Rachel Summers in Excalibur and Cable. So, all right, you're fine. And then this issue, I know you know. And then the I'm gonna say this omnibus kind of ends on like a fucking dud with Uncanny X-Men 315, which is a complete. Which is a, oh my god, yes, Tom.
Isn't Excalibur 75 where was that Excalibur 75? Didn't Cyclops have to perform like fucking precision surgery on Colossus?
Yeah, that didn't seem like a big deal.
A fucking huge deal, asshole!
Not when it's like, I have to do this, and that's it, you know?
It's a huge deal because it lets him transmute between steel and flesh, so he can actually feel. You asshole!
I'm going to show you how big of a panel they gave that.
I know how big of a panel.
There it is. That's like 4 postage stamps. 4. Maybe 6.
And I'm telling you, it's a bigger deal than they make it out to be.
Alright.
Why can't you just listen and trust me?
Because I'm just showing you what I'm reading outside looking in, okay? Is that a big deal? I don't know. According to this book I'm reading, it's not. Because like he basically squinting like that's it. You know, he's not opening his eyes fully. He's like, okay.
No, he actually has to.
When Moira says, "Oh, bring your power down to .993," I'm like, all right, I get it.
All right, well, they don't show.
You don't need to tell me that.
They actually don't show him like having to fuck with the dials on his.
No,
visor.
they don't show him fucking with the dials. They just say that. All right, Tom. Again, I'm sorry. X-Men ain't my thing. I appreciate it. I like this.
You don't.
Are you fucking kidding me? I've gotten this far. I read this bummer of an issue. Fucking Uncanny X-Men. What is this? 315.
It does
fucking
end on a bummer.
Shit.
It does end on a bummer.
All it does is it talks about like the acolytes, like, oh, maybe we're the baddies. Like that's really all it is. And Colossus is like, oh, maybe you know, it's like, hey, I don't agree with Xavier, but fuck, I don't mind. Maybe I don't agree with you guys. And hey, maybe Magneto ain't fucking brain dead. Like the end. We'll see an Onslaught. That's it.
Yeah,
but
Onslaught,
anyway,
man, Onslaught's good.
But anyway, Fatal Attractions. Oh my god, 3 hours. Fatal Attractions was very good. You know what? A lot of people don't give it credit because I was looking at like top X-Men storylines, and Days of Future Past comes up, Dark Phoenix Saga comes up, even like House and Powers of X come up, like that, like the newer of the storylines. Fatal Attractions doesn't show up.
No.
And you know what? Outside looking in, it's what? Only 4 core issues with only one really, like, setting the world on fire. You know, it's with
what?
Magneto ripping the...
Yeah, X-Men 300.
Magneto ripping the adamantium off of Wolverine. Like, that's really the biggest one.
Colossus
betraying... that is some...
No, that's fucking huge, man. Colossus betraying the X-Men is huge.
I think Colossus killing himself to cure legacy virus is bigger.
Okay, you knew about that. I wasn't gonna spoil anything.
Yeah, I knew about that.
No, that's fucking huge for me.
Alright, well, it's huge for you, Tom, but apparently to the X-Men fandom, it's not that huge. I'm just saying. Okay. Alright, I'm not part of that fandom. I'm just outside looker in, like I said, and it's not that big.
Okay.
But, hey, I enjoyed what I read, again, because I'm not an X-Men, I don't want to say fan, I don't follow it. So getting, you know, all these different characters together...
How you are with X-Men is how I am with Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
I know enough to get me by.
Right. Okay, same.
But I don't religiously follow it.
Gotcha. I mean, I don't... Same, but I
know what I mean.
I know more than you do,
yes.
and you know more than I do. Okay. But... I liked it. I dug it.
Good.
I'm open to read more more X-Men stuff. So coming out of it, I think Storm's a fantastic character.
Storm's one
She's a
of
great
the best.
leader because it's almost like she's taking Xavier's dream and like okay, and putting it into action.
I know.
Whereas the original 5 are just like, yeah, okay, yeah,
we'll follow you,
we're here,
Baldy.
man. Thumbs up,
yeah.
bro. Like that's it. The characters like Bishop are great. Even what Iceman, like the stupid side story Iceman was going on was just like, okay, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because like you're trying to keep your real life together and your superhero life, which you get that a lot with Spider-Man. Yeah, some girlfriend of his.
Don't matter
I liked
anymore.
because it was interesting having Jean fight against Xavier because it was like, no, this isn't right. Having Cyclops be like, hey, whatever you say, boss, like, you know, like that. X Factor.
Government.
Yes. X Factor. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. X Factor doing their whole thing, like I like that. X Force was in for like 2 issues. I only knew Cannonball. That was really it.
Really?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, you got real.
I'm aware of them. I just don't.
Yeah, Execution Song is where they shine.
Well, yeah, because that's a Cable thing. I know Cable obviously. Stuff.
Didn't Jean have a drag out fight with Exodus?
No. It might have happened in something else.
I might be thinking of another story.
Sure. Okay. But again, overall, I liked it.
Awesome.
And that's it. That took me way too long because there was a lot of added information.
Fuck you.
Yes.
Fuck you.
And on that note, RudeNation, thank you so much for joining us. What are we doing next episode? Do we have any idea? All right, we'll keep you posted. Thank you for joining us. This was a long. It was a long built episode. This was like a Chris Claremont, you know, planting the seeds.
You know what though? I think it's a makeup for last episode.
That is very true. Yeah, last episode was a bit of a bummer.
Last episode was a fucking dud.
Sure.
Wow,
that's actually pretty rough now that I'm thinking about what you just said.
What, last episode? Dude, was only like 25-30 minutes. Yeah. Last episode sucked.
It's definitely less than an hour.
So, guess what? Now you get fucking...
Now you get enough for
9 hours.
Oh, boy.
You get fucking...
I'm not going to edit... I'm going to edit a lot of you out. Sorry. So, next episode, I don't know what's going to happen.
You're a piece of shit. I make this show.
I make the show.
Well, you edit it.
Yeah, I put it together.
That's about as far as I'll go.
You give me the pieces to make the show, and I just throw them out and I put it together.
Yeah, and I'm amazing.
All right.
They call me Tommy Cash because I go rat-tat-tat-tat.
RudeNation, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. See, Bonnie just joined us now. She's like,
Bonnie's fucking
motherfuckers.
Bonnie's done it. She just joined us.
Yes. So that's it. I've been trying to wrap this up for 30 minutes.
Been trying to wrap this up for 85 episodes.
Blah 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 blah.
Thank you, RudeNation. Goodbye. You can find Chris at.
Nope, that's not.
Stop. You can find us at on social media, RudeBoyz469, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can hit us up on Podbean, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn. But Podbean, like we said, RudeBoyz.podbean.com. That's what Tom says, something lewd and crude. But I don't know, he's passed out.
Sorry, no, you just been, pigeonholing me.
Oh. If you want to hit me up on social media, I'm at Tesherms, TEH_SHERMS.
You can get me at Tommy_Cash, and that's Cash with a K, 80.
There you go. And then next issue, too many comic book talk. Oh my god. Next episode, not enough comic book talk. We're gonna have to talk about Trading the Backs Volume 4. Now that we got some stuff, I gave you a bunch of stuff, and I know you have a lot of stuff to give me. So much. There'll be a sequel, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be good.
Really? That's what we're doing.
Well, no, not next issue, but in the future.
Next episode.
Yeah, we gotta space it out, man. What? Stop. Yeah. So we'll figure out next episode.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Until next time, see you later.
Bye.
This has been a presentation of the RudeBoyz Podcast Network.
Oops.